The Borgata Fall Poker Open Championship has delivered non-stop action. After 464 entries and over $1.1 million in the prize pool, only 6 elite players remain. The energy's been electric. It's high stakes, high pressure, and it all unfolds right here. Don't miss a moment. The final table starts now.
Double checking. Are there still diamonds down there? Yes, there is.
It hasn't changed, brother.
Hasn't changed. Still diamonds, bro.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He's ripping.
Look at this.
Ripping.
He puts on the pressure. He calls. Massive. Here we go. Oh!
And he
Diamond
hits
on the turn.
That's it. Yowza.
Well, that's gonna do it. How much is he gonna bet out here is the question. Is he gonna make it look like he missed the flush draw, you know, and try to go a little spewy here and get paid off? He's licking his lips. You see that? He licked his lips like he was about to eat dinner, bro. Here we go. Yeah, here it is. There it is.
It's a million. He calls.
Wow. That's not good for business.
Oh,
That's gonna leave a mark.
my goodness. I don't know. I think Andrew's gonna let it go.
Yeah, I mean, ace 10, not a spot you always want to go to war with.
No.
He's thinking about, though. Looks like he might use a time bank. Nah, he's out of here. Psyched him out. He's like, pump fake. Nope, I'm out. I'm out. Oh. Cash peels the ace there. And he's got the hard back door if he needs them.
He's gonna lead. No.
Yeah, he leads out.
Good for you, Cash.
That puts Paul in a really tough spot. See, the problem is here, he knows that he has another 255 behind. So it's like, if you don't put him on the ace here, you know you're going to have to put in the 200 plus the 255 because it's going to come on the turn. Does he fold here? And that's why Paul Volpe has 10 million in cash.
Kudos to him.
Nice fold.
I guess, you know, from his perspective,
Jose's lifeline support here. Uh-oh. Picks up the club draw on the turn.
Tom picks up. He's smiling.
He's happy. He's alive. Of course he's happy.
He's so happy.
He's got 12 bigs in a dream at the
tell you
moment. We got an all-in situation, ladies and gents.
Got a snap.
Yeah, here we go. I guess Paul's going to try to get the rest of it right here.
Oh,
that's it.
And
Warm up the car, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you do really well?
I don't want to tell you.
Hello, welcome to the day 4 of Borgata's Fall Poker Open Championship, a $2,700 $1 million guarantee event. We are back with the final 6 at the final table here, playing for about $204,000 for first place. You'll see we have the 6 members of our final table here that will be joining us today. Matthew Zambanini, Andrew Porter, Ari Katz, Kash Corpening, Paul Volpe. As you see here, Paul Volpe from Westchester, Pennsylvania, comes in today, one of the short stacks on about 12 big blinds at $740,000.
$25. That's actually crazy. So now you like the machine.
Andrew Porter, second in chips coming into today from Philadelphia, sitting on about 83 big blinds, just under $5 million in chips.
But the 1-2
Ari
over
Katz,
ball
as you
is
can
higher.
see, from Baltimore, Maryland,
1-2 overs higher.
sitting on 48 big blinds, just
that was
under
the highest
$3 million
today.
in chips.
Yeah, the one all the way on the right.
Cash Corpening from Woodbridge, Virginia, sitting on 2.3 million in
That was
chips,
smooth.
sitting about
That
39
was
big
smooth.
blinds
I like
coming into
that.
today.
Too much swag,
Threw on the shades, gave it a look. I like
Jose
that.
Wong from
like the
Brick, New
three-player,
Jersey, sitting on
like
785,000 in chips,
Monday
also
Night
one of our
Football.
shorter stacks, coming in on 13 big blinds.
Right.
And then the chip leader for today is Matthew Zambanini. Did I get that right? Coming in with just under 7 million in chips and 114 big blinds. So as you see, we have our 6 returning players that have made it through 3 days of action, playing for $204,000, and you can see in the background
Shot clock
2
is
different
here.
trophies. Each of them
Alright,
have
we're good
locked
to
up a
go?
minimum of $36,600, and then some ladders all the way up to that first place of just over $200,000.
It's okay. Should we start?
My name is Matt McNeil. I'll be
We're waiting
hosting
for
some of the
shot
stream
clock.
today, and I'm joined with someone who's kind of been teased a little bit over the last few days. A 3-time bracelet winner, 2 live, 1 online, 2015 World Series of Poker main event champion, won 4 different events here at Borgata at different poker opens over the years. Mr. Joe McKeon. Joe, how we doing?
What's up, Matt? I'm doing great. I'm here with,
We're good to go.
another great final table here. A lot of really good, strong players, like Paul Volpe, the absolute legend, maybe the best player ever to come out of the East Coast. Got some new guns like Andrew with a lot of chips. You got the old guard like Matthew and Cash. Should be a good final table for everybody.
And you're obviously a very accomplished player. You were in the mix here throughout the recent days. How did your series here go?
Oh, it was awful. That's why I'm here commentating, and sadly I'm not at this final table. But, it is how it is. So happy to be here. Happy to watch these guys play. I'm going to get some notes on these guys for next time, and make sure that they feel the pain next time they play with me.
There you go. And we are live. Cards are in the air. We are on about a 30-minute delay. I think we're just a little bit behind that as well with some of the stream. I think needed to be restarted at one point. So we're going to be just a little bit behind, about 35 to 40 minutes behind the live action. We'll be talking about what we're seeing, obviously, together here. One thing I will say to you here, Joe, and this might be something that bodes well for you in the future. A lot of the people who I've done streams with have turned around and had immediate results and immediate success not long after, so I'm going to take myself as a good luck charm. Speaking of which, Andrew Porter at our final table was actually commentating with me over the weekend. So we have the most recent example of that, so we certainly should have good things in your future as well.
Absolutely. I'll remember that next time I'm being here before the main instead of after the main, so I could, use my luck with the main.
Mooch a little bit of the run good, come on, commentate for a little bit, and then smash a final table.
These are the tricks and tips I just don't know that I need to learn. That's a pretty tough, tight fold from Jose there. I think he was on the. I think he was in the cutoff and he folded ace-9 on his 13 big blinds. Kind of surprising at that.
Yeah, we're in kind of a weird chip distribution for Paul Volpe and Jose here, and we see Paul go all in with his 12 bigs. Andrew can't make the call.
Do you think Joe heard our commentary or
No,
not?
I didn't.
No, because they reset the stream.
Joe, we were all saying hi to you,
Yes.
so you know.
Hi, Joe.
Hi,
I told
Paul.
the story, Joe, about how we
Hi,
went and flew
Andrew.
kites together at the park.
Yeah, that didn't happen. It never
How did
will.
that happen?
You can try
Andrew
over and
said
over, but you
derogatory
still
things
won't
about
get
you,
me.
Joe.
Porter should say derogatory things about me. He's a very mean person. He's never said anything nice to anyone in his life. You know, he's here. He's going to talk a lot this stream, I'm sure.
I love it, getting a chance to interact with them, and they'll have absolutely no clue what's being said for 30 minutes.
Yeah, they can come back on break, and you know, just for everybody that watches and hears the stream, no, I did not do anything with Matt as much as he's tried.
I'm told that you guys have dinner plans later.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to be showing up 30 minutes late, if at all.
We continue here, and we'll see how Andrew chooses to play a suited hand out of the small blind against a stack that he's got a pretty significant advantage on. Kind of really heavy ICM considerations here with the pay jumps.
Yeah, he's keeping it small to start. I think that's fine. I don't think the big blind's going to get too out of line either, so he's going to be able to get to see some flops, do what he wants post. There's still some shorter stacks in there.
It'll be really interesting to see how some of those stacks. Oh, that's a big flop for Ari.
Yeah, Andrew will do well to not put any chips in. He has no diamonds, board's all rainbow, and he doesn't even have a backdoor flush draw. If Ari ends up betting here, I don't think Andrew's going to do anything. But on a board like this, Ari probably wants to bet because Andrew's really incentivized not to fold. But, you know, the check back in this spot's going to go pretty good because now Andrew's incentivized to bluff on this card, or he's got 8 high. He's going to put some money in if it gets to the river.
Yeah, the flop, the bet on the flop, because there's so many backdoor opportunities, right? There's so many cards, individual cards that interact with that board. Even betting small, there's a lot of reason for Andrew to come along. Now I don't think we would see Andrew putting in another chip.
No, I think Andrew isn't going to do a lot of check folding on this flop either. He's going to call with a lot of high cards. He's going to call with all his pairs and his draws and play them somewhat aggressively. So it's a flop he's going to want to check back a lot, but when he has it, it's like a cool spot to kind of bet to maybe get Andrew to put in a lot of chips, drawing dead. No way he could check back the turn, though. He's got to start trying to build the pot. Again, Andrew's still going to have a lot of high cards and pairs to call with.
Yep.
Not that time, though.
Ari takes in a nice little pot to get his day going. It's always nice to grab one early in your day, early in your session.
You get the big blind free look and just make a good hand right off the bat. You know, it's like, okay, breathe in, breathe out. Let's figure it out. It's a good way to start. Hopefully, this isn't the end of my good cards.
Yeah, hopefully for his sake, that's not the only pot that he's scooping throughout the day.
Yes, usually the people who get the good cards are the ones who make a lot of chips in this game. So
it's wise words.
yeah, he didn't have to. It's more fun to think about how to get value than it is to like think about how you have to bluff.
That is, yes. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
when you get to sit and just get good cards, it's easy. Have Andrew coming out a little slow right now. Not a surprise.
Yeah, there's a lot of money up top. Some of these players sure have been on featured table or higher stakes spots before live. I know Andrew has some really nice scores and a lot of stuff in the online streets as well. I'm not sure if he's been on a TV table or a feature table in the past. So that's a spot where with his chip stack, you'll see some people open, and early on in a day like today, you'll kind of see people, you know, be a little bit more cautious.
Oh, definitely. Andrew was here at the last one of these too a couple months ago. He made the final table. I was playing deep in the money with him. He knocked me out. I helped him a lot. I had a lot of chips when he knocked me out too, so I helped him pretty hard here. We have another flop with not a lot of action. Ari choosing to limp. Cash checking, not a very good hand. So
Anyone sniffs at this pot should be more than enough.
yes, I think Ari should be the one doing so. I think he's the one that's going to have more aces and kings. But you know, he kind of gave away control of this. Cash
Give him a
checking
chance.
out some value and, you know, taking down a little pot here and there. It's a big deal, especially those two. They're kind of close. You get a little bit of closeness. You win some pots. You just kind of stick around. You know, Cash ain't going to be afraid today.
No, and we've seen Cash a little bit throughout the week and the weekend. Cash has been on the stream multiple times, and he's certainly not afraid to mix it up.
No, and I've been with Cash. I've played with Cash for the last few years. I don't know how he does it, but he always just has a massive stack of chips every time. If you get on his table like an hour and a half into the tournament, he's already got like 4 starting stacks, and you're just like,
Now, is this one of
Great.
those situations where it's 4 starting stacks on 1 bullet, or is it possibly 4 starting stacks on multiple bullets?
Oh,
or?
I think it's on 1 bullet, man. He
Yeah.
doesn't lose from what I see. He just puts the chips in and they come back. It's a real good strategy. in
That
this
that
game.
sounds like a great strategy. That's the
Yes.
one that I need to really nail down.
Andrew, I think, is going to open this one. He's got the short stack in the big blind. It's a good opportunity. A suited king in the cutoff. Andrew likes to get in there and mix it up too, so I expect him to get in there.
Yep. And having 2 short stacks makes this a lot more comfortable of an open because Jose's not just going to be ripping weak. Jose's going to be, ripping with strength.
Yep, definitely Kash has a good hand to call with. And Jose, when his stack can see the flop with this one pretty easily too, and if he makes anything, he can kind of commit himself. This is the situation you don't want when you open the king too, being dominated both ways. This one's going to be hard to win. But, everyone can miss and he can just bet.
Yeah, we'll see if Jose decides to do anything, even like a squeeze rip. I don't think that this is the hand that he's going to want to choose that with, but you never know.
No, I don't think he has enough chips either to rip. If he had like $1 million, it'd actually be a pretty cool spot. Because when Kash is calling the small blind, he's going to have a lot of these medium strength hands. It's going to be in a tough spot that like King 9 isn't even going to do that bad against. And Andrew should be opening pretty wide, but...
With the Kash flat behind, if you don't know Kash, then that becomes even more scary. Knowing Kash a little bit, knowing that he's willing to mix it up, might make him think that a squeeze here is the play.
Oh, he did it.
And there it is.
Yeah, I don't think Kash is going to end up folding. Andrew will for sure fold. I think he's getting too good a price here to call with the pair. He's going to be flipping too much.
Oh, you won?
Yep.
I do think he likes the action. But, people on final tables like to do different things. This is only a 12 big blind reshove. I don't do a lot of folding of middle pairs to 12 big blind reshoves.
Yeah.
Because you get too many of these types of flips. And, I mean, if Kash even makes the call, Andrew folded a king, so he's in better shape than he thinks.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen Kash, again, with, kind of doing this with a wide range of hands. So if Jose has been watching this at all, he could think that Kash might be doing this with like an ace-3 off, an ace-4 kind of hand. Maybe some like jack-9 suiteds, hands that he does really well against and is folding out. I think we'll find out in a sec if Kash does make the call, but he's unfortunately potentially putting himself at risk in not as great of a spot.
I mean, this is the best spot you could be in. When you're shoving this spot, when you get through the first opener, if the second guy calls, it's like, okay, that's okay. Because you're going to get called by a lot of these types of hands. Mm-hmm. And, you're not going to be dominated too much. Oh, that thing worked. I guess they got a lot of respect for Jose. That's a little bit of a surprising result there. But, that's a great pickup for Jose.
Well,
he really needed it.
In the lead-in and the promo, basically the only thing we saw from him was premiums. We saw like the queens all in the lead-in against the jack-10. I don't think Jose's really had the chip stack to really mix it up too much. So I think a lot of what people have seen has been him picking spots really well and playing them really tight, solid.
Yeah, that one worked out for him too. I mean, he folded the ace-9 earlier in a spot where I think I would have put my money in. So, he was waiting for the suited cards. The king-9 suited instead. Got through. He knows his guys, And Kash wasn't ready for that gamble, so he that's okay. Kash only had to call like 600 to win $1 million, so it was a pretty good spot for him because the small blind just gonna have a lot of big cards.
Yeah.
Might even have some dominated pairs like pocket fives or like ace-5 suited is a thing the kids love to do nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And Jose up over $1 million in chips there, which is going to be very, very useful for him getting close to 20 bigs.
And we're about to see him go all in again, I think. And Kash got another pair. This is another kind of nasty spot for Kash.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of hand that can get you into a little bit of trouble. I have a tough time picturing him laying down 2 in a row here like this.
I was thinking the same thing, but if you fold the 7s, you could definitely fold the 5s. This is a much easier fold than the 7s would be if he decides to do it. This is also now, like you said, Jose's got $1 million in chips. It's half his stack, so if he calls and loses, it's real bad. Before, if he called, they'd have about the same stack. Still be in about 4th place with him.
And here we go.
There it goes. It's always a good feeling when the big blind folds, when you're all in the small blind.
You know what else is a good feeling as a commentator is to actually get the action correct when we're predicting it. We got the Kash side of things
Kash
wrong.
snap folded though, so I thought he would think a little longer. I think Kash is kind of not here to gamble early, which is good. That's okay. Kash has already gotten dealt a couple hard spots, so.
Yep, and as you were saying, the 7s may be a little bit more.
That was a little tighter.
That's one that a lot of us are going to want to take. In that spot, there's still, again, there's the ICM, there's the ladders, there's there's a lot more reason to tell yourself to fold some of those when you're looking at
definitely.
your payouts and you're dealing with tens of thousands of dollars, and he's still ahead of Jose, you know, by close to 1 million chips after those 2 hands. So I can understand Kash not wanting to put himself at risk.
Yeah, and I do remember seeing his biggest live cash was $10,000, so he's already smashed that here.
Yeah.
So this might be the most money he's played for in a long time, you know, with how close he is. And I do expect him to still kind of play his own game. You know, maybe his game is to not take those types of flips early, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Jose with another good hand on the button. He could go a lot of ways with this. I could see him just shoving because Matthew in the small blind is, you know, could kind of get at him. I could see him raising as he did.
Yeah,
on the big
it's at a
blind,
really
doesn't really
weird
play this
depth
guy.
where everything is on the table. You'll see some people want to choose to limp that if they feel like they want to play in position. Now, early on, I don't know we're going to get that too much today. Kind of as they're feeling out, I think it's going to be a little bit more straightforward.
Yeah,
But
I
you'll see
don't-
some people maybe want to limp that, raise, all in, you name it.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Jose is the type of player to limp that one, especially with Paul being short in the big blind. It's kind of a disaster to give him a free flop, and you know,
sure.
Paul folds some suited cards. Jose's already kind of almost doubled up without even a showdown, so that's a pretty good start for him. Now you got a clear short stack in Paul. Everyone's kind of on their own level. Cash went down a little bit.
That's actually incredibly symmetrical right there. 12,
It is.
24, 36, 48.
Yep, and then the 2 guys way ahead of everybody else.
Plenty of play in front of us.
That does make it a little easier for Paul now to just not have to worry.
He gets to pick and choose
If
whatever
he gets a good
wants.
hand, he
Yeah.
can just go. He doesn't have to worry about, you know, getting to 5th. I don't think Paul's the type of guy that's going to fold to 5th anyway, if he could help it. I think Paul wants to be in there and win. He is very good, though. He is very, very difficult to knock out of tournaments. He's very good on the short stack, and he knows what he's doing because he's been around forever, and, you know, that's why he's won all the money on the East Coast.
So you're just calling him old is what you're doing.
He has been around for quite a while. A lot of these guys have been around for a while. This hand could be dangerous for Ari, though.
This
This is
Wow.
looking like a bit of a thing.
Ari opening the 10s under the gun. Thank you. Matthew, our chip leader, with queens on the button, and Paul also with a strong hand in his small blind.
Yeah, Paul's going to let this one go. He knows better.
After seeing the 3-bet for sure.
Absolutely.
Not that I'm going to suggest, but we've actually seen a lot of people flatting the button with some real premiums in these types of spots. If he had flatted that, do you think Paul then squeezes his all in there?
No, I don't think so. I think one of the reasons Matthew would flat is because this under the gun open is supposed to be pretty strong cards. I kind of expect Ari to call here, and we're going to see the flop. This is a very difficult spot for Ari in general because it's a good spot for Matthew to try to punish him when there's a couple short stacks. And he's still got a lot of chips, though, so he can't be too out of line. Matthew with a pretty clear 3-bet of queens, and we're going to see the flop.
Oh, here we go.
I think if Matthew called, Paul would just fold his hand because I think he's a little afraid of the opener. And also, I don't think Paul has enough to like get people to fold, so I think he wants a little better than King-Jack suited when he's in that situation. But really good flop for Ari. He's not going to get in that much trouble. They both don't like that ace, of course, but I don't expect much more than 1 bet to go in anyway on this type of board. This is a good board for Matthew to bet small on with everything he's re-raising with. He hates the ace too, but you know.
Throw out 200,000, quarter pot, something in that range.
I think he bet even less than that. I think he bet maybe 160, 140, bet 20%. I think
160.
20% is totally fine. It's going to get the hands like 10s and jacks, or like maybe if Ari called with 10-9 suited, he's definitely going to peel one. This will get Matt to the river really cheap too, because it's very unlikely on a board like this Ari's going to raise him. And if he does, I think he has a pretty easy fold with the queens.
I'd be pretty sick if Ari can get the raise here.
I mean, Ari could potentially end up value betting the river and winning this hand by mistake, but I don't think that, unless one of them really makes a better hand or like an ace comes out, I don't think a lot of money's going in. Like, I expect this one to go check a lot. Matthew has a lot of chips, but he doesn't want to like
He's not looking
start
to double up.
blasting
Yeah,
going out of line. You know, he understands the situation. His hand is good, not great, and he's beat pretty easily. So I think he just wants to get to the river pretty cheaply here.
And his situation at the table as well. Like, he wants to
Exactly.
be able to apply the pressure, but you need to also weigh the risk of doing that with an under the gun open from Ari, who's going into this hand on about 50 bigs.
He's actually coming with a real small bet. I would guess he's making this small bet so he could check back the river if he got called, kind of setting his own price instead of making a decision on the river. All right, with a good fold. Yeah, not much to do there. There is a bit of separation. I bet that's one he's going to want to look at on the stream later. Let's see, he made a good fold.
And
That's an interesting hand too, because now you see Matt kind of bets this turn. He doesn't necessarily just have to have the nuts or like a bluff. He can have some of those medium hands too.
Well,
So when
you
you have a
said it.
medium hand, it's tough to navigate.
You said it. He was setting his own price, right? So
He
he kind
definitely
of
set his own price
he
there.
has the check back on the river, barring the queen,
Yep.
or maybe an ace. An ace might decide that he wants to try and go for thin value because he might think that Ari's got that same tens jacks range, which could make sense to peel.
Exactly. And he bet small enough where, like, if you have tens or jacks, you might think about it. And Ari actually just snap folded, so Ari had his decision made. I can only call this one real small bet, and I got to be tight about it, which is probably correct in the spot because, again, he doesn't want to go messing with the chip leader. A bunch of medium hands and bloated pots.
But he also doesn't want to lay down too easily, so calling the one, reevaluating, folding to the second makes a lot of sense.
This one may be dangerous for Paul. Oh, wow, that is a... Paul just knows what he's doing, man. I'm kind of surprised
That's
he didn't
those
put that one
spidey
in.
senses, right? You just,
Yeah,
you
12
just
bigs
feel.
on the button. I guess he just didn't like the spot.
Yeah.
I think Andrew would have given him some action, too. I expect Andrew to do a lot of raising here with this type of hand.
175.
I think one of the things that Andrew does well is he puts pressure on you, and I know
yeah.
him. I've played him online, live. I know him pretty well, and he's one
a
of the
tough
more
one.
annoying people to play against because he always keeps you under pressure. He always is just making you make decision after decision after decision, and they're uncomfortable decisions.
Andrew's got a real good seat on the table, too, because he's kind of got position on the guy he doesn't want to go out of line against, and
He's
got the
position
medium
of the two
stacks.
mid stacks
Exactly,
on the left.
yeah. It's good to punish the mid stacks if you can.
Yeah.
And
obviously
Paul
no
just
decision
impossible
there
to
for Ari.
die. Like I would have been all in there and with 10 bigs or 12 bigs on the button with king 9 every time, but Paul knows better. Paul has that spidey sense. He's just real hard to kill. This will be an interesting hand for Jose because I think we would all be opening it. I think he will too. But he is in a weird spot now that he's got some chips. This is kind of the part of the final table you come in short.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, a lot of the time you die, but like when you don't die and you go up, now all of a sudden you have to be smart enough to adjust right on the fly about where you are, if there's still another short stack, all this stuff. Andrew's got an interesting one. He could definitely kind of leverage his stack if he wants against Jose on the button here with the suited ace.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird. He is just going to come
You
along
can see
for
the
a
flop
call.
too. Cash will probably throw in 60 with the same hand as Jose. And we get to C3.
It's a couple multi-way pots now, which is, at this point of a tournament, not something you're going to see incredibly often, but this is the exact kind of setup where you'll get that.
Exactly, the big blind's got something good.
Oh,
That's
wow,
a good flop for everybody.
Everybody's got a piece. There's going to be
Yep.
chips going in here.
I actually think this is going to check to Andrew a lot of the time here, and Andrew's going to start with a bet. I think under normal circumstances, Andrew would do a lot of checking back on the flop here, but in this one, I think he just kind of wants to bet and put a little pressure on these guys.
With the chip distribution and him having the stack that he has and everything to pick up here, yeah, we're going
There's
to
the
see
150 I thought he'd exactly bet, and I think it's going to go call, and then I could see Jose even just folding this hand. I could also see Jose calling. It's already an incredibly uncomfortable position when Cash calls. Like
He
Jose would
snap
always call
called
it
that,
Cash
too.
folded, but
He snap called that too.
yep. This is a board that Andrew's going to have a lot of when he's calling on the button. In this case, he actually has the draw instead, but
He still has a lot of it though. Again, suited cards on the
Exactly.
button and those that middle, that exact.
he's got almost half the equity.
Yeah.
Jose's in there. Jose's got the straight draw, so I think that's pretty good for him. The Jack of Spades could be very dangerous.
Jack of
for,
Spades is gonna end somebody's tournament.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little more dangerous for Cash than anyone else.
Yep.
I think this one's gonna check through a lot. Andrew even made a pair.
250.
Cash coming out with a little lead.
I
That puts
was-
Jose in a terrible spot because he has to worry about Andrew behind.
I was going to say, we've seen Cash with a lot of leads throughout the weekend, throughout the tournament so far. So this isn't a huge surprise to see Cash lead with a pair, and him having Jose just flat behind has to make him think that he's ahead at this moment. Maybe against a king-queen type hand, but if Jose has ace-queen, I don't know that Jose is going to play that quite the same way. I don't think Jose is necessarily going to check the ace-queen there. He might. It's certainly it's a weird spot, but multi-way,
He
Cash
might,
has to
yeah.
think he's ahead.
Jose might be coming in for a shove if he had a hand that could beat Queen 10 for sure. Jose did call, and now Andrew's alarm bell's got to go up a little bit. I mean, he has way too good of a hand here to do anything besides just call, I think.
Yeah.
Unless he thinks that Cash is just going to fold and he can push these guys out. I think it would work if he did it, but
This
it's
is a
real
great
risky.
rip
And
spot.
yeah, I don't think it's that good though when Cash leads and Jose calls.
Yeah.
It looks like it because
Well, yeah,
you can
we
see the
see
cards,
everything,
but Andrew, of course, has way too much equity to fold his hand. Well,
Probably check through the river here and get a chop pot, you would think, unless
Cash
Andrew-
might bet again. That's not a dangerous card by any means. And if Cash bets, Jose might fold, especially if Cash bets a lot. But I mean, this is, you get to the river now and there's pot left. It's a hard spot to be in if anyone could find it here.
Cash has shown aggression. We'll see. And I haven't seen him. I was going to say, I haven't seen him lead and then not follow up with another lead. That's a really interesting bet for Cash here. And like you said with Jose, this is a terrible spot.
It's a hard spot. Cash bet small too. He bet another quarter of the pot. Jose has to worry about Andrew behind overcalling. Oh, he bet less than quarter. Okay, he bet real small. I think it might be a little hard for Queen 10 to fold to that size.
But he's not closing the action like you said. He's got to worry about quarter behind.
It's so tough when Andrew overcalls. Just these three-way pots are difficult. And this is a big portion of his stack, even though the pot's so big. I think he's going to fold the way he's looking at it. He took his... All right, never mind. He took the chip off, but he put it back on. That kind of looked like a man that was looking back at his hand, just being like, how did I get here? And folding it out, but he's still here. We can see some time banks going, that's for sure, on this spot. Although I don't think Andrew's going to do anything but just fold when Jose makes his action.
Agreed.
Especially because he's got the spades, so it's harder for Cash to have a missed flush draw on a board like this. You don't expect Cash to just have like 7-6 suited or anything here. Or King Jack, King 10 hands raised. He's getting a price though. Cash has somehow managed to navigate this hand perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, we were talking about putting chips in and just getting chips back. I don't think that any other way Cash plays this, he would have had a chance to get the kinds of chips that he may be getting here if Jose makes his fold.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I think Jose's got too good of a price though, and he is going to come in with the call.
Gotcha. And Porter.
I don't think Andrew's going to really think about bluffing or calling anymore. He's got to know.
Not going to get crazy.
This incredibly interesting and awesome pot's going to end up going half and half, and I think they're both going to be okay with this.
No good.
After hearing no good, your heart skips a beat, but then
Yeah.
you see that, and you know that's the way to slow roll. If you're going to slow roll someone, you got to be like, what are you doing with that hand, and then flip over
yeah.
the same.
The slow roll, the chop is a great slow roll.
Yes, especially on a final table. That pot was a lot. That was half of Cash's stack, I think. Cash, after he bet the river, only had like 1.2 million left. So
Yeah.
Jose's going to be thrilled about that. Andrew's going to see those hands and think.
Andrew's going to be
Could've
perfectly
won.
happy with how it went. Maybe thinks about a squeeze pre if he wanted to. If you want to raise the.
He could have re-raised pre and got him through with it. But I mean,
he's
if he
not-
if he ended up finding a shovel on the turn, it would have been super gangster. I'm not saying it would have worked, but it would have been gangster. It might have worked after seeing the cards. There's a lot of information from that hand, though. I think Andrew's going to be really happy those hands got turned over at the very least.
Watch it back.
And they're talking about
Talking
it.
about watching it back. Yeah, that one showed a lot of restraint from Andrew. Something, you know, we don't necessarily have to see from a guy who we think is really crazy. But, you know, that's what it is, right? The crazy guys know when to do it and when not to do it. That's how they have a lot of success. A guy like Andrew is very aggressive.
You know who's
likes to
going to
put
be
them in.
the least happy about that hand is going to be Paul Volpe.
Agreed.
He saw triple. He saw a multi-way, multiple streets, multi-way pot. He's thinking like collisions.
He was loving it. Yeah, he was about to have more than Jose if Jose couldn't beat that Queen 10. But
Yep.
I said they tied, and it's not even like Cash got low.
No.
Random blind spot here. Cash is suited. I think he called.
We saw him. It looked. I was going to say it looked like he did that very quick. It's just a snap call. That may have been him posting. I'm not sure.
No, he called because
Yeah.
Jose just checked it.
Yeah.
So, a couple nothing burgers going to the flop. See if they can turn into something.
It happened so quick. Wasn't quite even sure if that was him posting or.
Yeah, same. Cash with a little piece, Jose not with much.
One thing that we've been seeing all week is the slide of the flop has been getting stuck on the table all week. Almost every single pot, it seems like the slide of those chips, something gets stuck.
Yeah, it looks like Gorilla Gaming might have to replace some of their felts here. They're a little worn out. Cash coming with a little turn bet, taking down the pot with the best hand, the pair of deuces. Does look like Cash likes to bet the turn quite a bit. I think every time he's gotten to the turn so far, he's come out with a bet.
Yeah, and when he's seeing a lack of aggression, he's saying, I guess that's my spot. I put in chips, I take chips back.
And even the last hand, he bet the turn when there was a lot of aggression. So he had a bit of a better hand, though. Came out with a little bluff earlier, got the better kicker to fold. Now he's betting with his bottom pair against the nothing. I will say, Jose checked that one back on the flop really fast.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something Cash picked up on, that when he checked the hand before, Jose took a lot of time. He had a good hand. He had connectivity with the board. He had a lot to think about. That last hand, he was just like, I got nothing. I'm checking it back. And Cash may be picking up on it. Andrew's got a pretty one to raise with here. And the Matthews big blind. I don't think this is the spot he wants, but hand's too good, and he's got way too many chips to even consider folding.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see him passing on hands like that.
No, nor should he.
Nope.
I think Matthew's going to defend this one in the big blind, especially to one big. Matthew might have been out late last night with all those facial expressions. Had a little fun after making that final table. I think they finished pretty early yesterday, so.
Yeah.
They did. They had a little bit of time. It might not have even been that late to stay out.
I think they had a little bit of time to old man party at like, 9 p.m. Still be in bed by 10:30.
In bed before late night. Another flush draw for Andrew.
Yeah, you can go both ways with this one. Matthew's got that 7 of spades. It looks cute, but Jack of Hearts is not the card you want to have with the 7 of spades on that one.
No, it might be enough, though, for him to float here if we get a small C-bet out of Andrew.
Andrew's deciding to check it back. He's going to try to keep the pot small against Matthew. A little disguising, too. If he hits the flush, it would actually be a pretty good card for Matthew to want to bet on. Matthew's got nothing. He's given up. I think Andrew's going to probably try to come in for a bet here now after two weak acts of checking. Nope, king high, he just wants to go with it. Anybody bets the spot, they're going to win. I think Matthew would be pretty well off here betting, but he didn't think very long.
Ace high is good. Jack high.
Andrew immediately shaking the head on the ace high. Yeah, I think Matthew.
He doesn't want to hear ace high is good because he might lose the king high.
Yeah. I think Matthew right there might be kicking himself just that little bit of. Once he's checked that back twice, I could have definitely put in a bet on the river, take that down. And
yeah, anybody sniffed on that pot, they would have won. If Porter bet, he obviously would have won with the best hand too.
The 8 coming in on the river just hits so much of what Matthew will be defending there too. It's just not going to be a huge hit for him now, but that's a small miss to miss a bet on the river there.
Yeah, but Andrew's also checked back twice, so he doesn't have that many good hands. If Matthew rivered an 8, it would almost always be the best hand, so it's easy for him to represent it. He could have a pair of 6s, a pair of 4s. He could have a pocket pair. Yeah, I mean, Andrew has king high. You can't call with king high. Matthew might be bluffing with ace high even.
But if Andrew does have the ace high, you might be getting the call for if you're going for really thin value. Maybe throw out one big on the river, just as like the hey, here we are kind of thing. Just a little bit of the mind games.
I don't think Matthew would end up bluff. If Matthew bluffed there, I think he'd bet a
little bit more.
A little more, enough to get Andrew to fold.
Sure.
All right, with another pretty one. We're seeing a lot of good hands.
We're seeing a lot of
pretty hands today, yeah. Queen 10 suited, king 10 suited, jack 10 suited. Makes everybody happy. I don't think Paul's going to defend this one against Ari again. I think Ari's opens are going to be a little bit in line the way the chips are.
Yeah, and obviously the exact same hand that Matthew just had and did defend, but a much different position for them considering the chip stacks.
Yes.
Matthew with 10 times Paul's chips.
Paul does have you do call in these spots a lot to try to hit something, but this isn't the guy he really wants to go against. I think he'd rather go up against one of them, one of those bigger stacks who might have a bit of a wider range.
Andrew or Matthew, and that's a Paul flop there right there if he's going to defend, because a lot of the strong stuff he's going to be ripping over the top.
Yeah, he could have a lot of this. He has a 7 and there's an 8 and a 6 out there. Ari doesn't like his hand at all right now. I still think he's going to fire a little small C-bet and win the pot. But these spots get really tricky because Paul doesn't have that many chips, and he knows that if Paul got any of it, he's just going to come in for the all-in. But came out with a small little quarter bet.
It does take the fortitude to make that C-bet when you know you hate your hand and you're going to get raised by some drawing hands, and basically if Paul gets a piece of it, it does take a little bit of willpower to actually follow through and make that bet. But
it did. He came out with one big blind. He came out with the cheapest bet he could, and he just gets Paul to fold that. He gets Paul maybe to fold king high, queen high. A lot of hands that missed that flop, so it's a great result for Ari.
it's one of those, when you don't like your hand that much, it's not always easy to even put that one big out because of how much it will mean to have Paul pick up that extra big, that extra 2 bigs versus his chip stack.
Yeah, it's a big pot for Paul if he could end up finding the shove there, but when Ari just has Paul dead,
you feel dumb. You feel dumb when you look at that, and if it's jacks instead of jack 10.
Another pair for Kash.
We'll see some chips coming from him.
Started with the raise. Looks like 2 big blinds.
2.5. There goes 60.
Yeah,
120. He went 4x.
No, Paul's not happy. Paul wanted this one to fold to him so he could jam it. I think he's going to end up releasing this.
Andrew out of the big blind with another pair, though.
Bigger pair. Andrew's going to be, we're going to see another flop here, I'm pretty sure. Kash has too many chips for Andrew to want to do anything super aggressive with this. And Andrew's not incentivized to bloat pots either, especially when he has decent hands like this. He just, very easy to call one, see the flop. Do some post-flop stuff. Andrew's going to continue reasonably correctly. Oh, that's a good door card for him. He's going to be disappointed that Kash doesn't have the ace here too. You want the ace-7 flop there. That's a nice spicy card.
An action card for a lot of people does give Kash the gut shot straight flush draw, and any diamond would give him a winner.
Andrew going to come big here, I presume. Kash didn't even think. He just... Oh, he did. I thought he was going to grab the chips immediately.
250, near pot size bet for Andrew here.
Yeah, 3/4. He should be betting pretty big on this card when there's a check back. His hand's super strong and it's a bit under repped right now, and there's just a lot of bad cards that can come on the river, so you really want to make him pay for that draw. That is a bad card for him, but it's not the worst. Kash definitely could have a lot of 10s the way this thing played out.
So could Andrew defending his big blind.
He definitely could.
10,
it's
7,
a
10, 8 kind of bet on the turn easily.
It's a dangerous spot for Andrew. I think he's going to come out with a little bit of a blocker bet here and just hope he doesn't get raised. And I think Kash is just going to fold these 5s. He bet about a quarter of the pot. I think it's going to work. I don't think Kash can really do anything with just the 5s here. He's already I think he's already given up in his head too with the thing he's doing with his fingers. Yeah, that's usually a decision between calling and folding and seeing Kash's hand. Oh, Kash did not believe him. It's a good bet. Yeah.
With an under pair to the board.
I guess he thought Andrew might have had a missed flush draw. Great bet size by Andrew. You got paid on that.
Yeah.
I think they'll be a little surprised to see that one on the river on the end, but it might be like it's good advertising for Kash because now he might not get bluffed on any of the rivers in the future.
Yeah.
And that he's going to get in there super wide. I think the bet size got to Kash. I think Kash just saw a lot in the middle and a little bit out there to.
It doesn't have to be right that often.
No, but it's going to be hard for Andrew to have a lot of. Andrew has to have a hand like King Queen with a diamond there to take a line like that.
Something like that.
ROI
Right?
with pocket 7 is stable is pretty good.
Yeah.
That one's a difficult one. Looks like the blinds went up too.
We're up to 40,000.
And now third place only has 30 big blinds, so having a lot of chips in Andrew and Matt's spot, they just got a lot more powerful.
Blinds going up to 40,000 chip small blind, 80,000 chip big blind and big blind ante, and brings Paul down into a real danger spot. Really.
Yeah, 6 bigs. I don't think he's gonna be folding too many more king 9s on the button. I'll tell you that much. Very disappointed to look at that hand though when it finally folds to you. Andrew could go either way here with the raises or limps. I think he's going to end up raising this one because I think he's aware of the situation that Ari can't get too out of line against him.
Yep.
220.
There he comes. Smart man he is. I think Ari's hand's too good to do anything but just call. Although if Ari's also aware of the situation, he puts out a little re-raise, it'll definitely come in for the win.
Little clip raise here.
Yeah, I don't think Andrew's going to get too out of line with the queen 5. Ari's just doing the standard thing to call. It's too good, but I mean, a continuation bet from Andrew is going to win on a lot of boards that Ari misses, so.
Yep, and this is the benefit of having the chip stack that Andrew has and being able to put some of that pressure on him.
Yeah, and he made the best hand anyway, so that's going to help the cause. Middle pair is going to be a pretty good one to go. I think he's going to come out with a small bet here. Ari could conceivably call a small bet here too with ace high in position on a board where a lot of people are going to miss. Andrew has a type of hand too. Oh, he's coming with the check. Andrew's coming in with the check. I guess he's going to try not to bloat this pot too much. I don't think Ari's going to decide to start betting with ace high himself here. I think he's going to be pretty happy to go to the turn. Sure. You know, he's doing a lot of eyeing of his chips.
Here comes that turn, and that's going to make Andrew feel a lot better.
Yeah, that's a fantastic card for Andrew. I think that's going to get him a call a lot of the time here too with the bet that I assume is coming. I don't think he's going to think Ari's checking back too many 9s or like hands that hasn't beat. So.
Is that about 110?
I think like 120. Oh, 210. Okay.
210. Yep, missed one of those.
He doesn't want to bet too small here because a lot of the hands that are going to call like 120 are going to call like 210, and Andrew has a pretty clear value bet. So Ari is not incentivized to get in big pots, but I think this is a spot on the turn. His hand's a little too good, and he has the best hand too often.
Yeah, a lot of people, as we see Andrew raising the queen 5, Ari is going to know that Andrew's not just raising premium hands. He's raising pretty wide.
Yeah, Andrew could have queen 7 here and just be bluffing. This is another dangerous card for Ari. Now his kicker doesn't matter.
Terrible card for Ari. Might make him think that he's still good.
Yeah, I think Andrew's going to come in for a bet here. And his sizing could be interesting because he could go big, he could go small, he could go medium here. He could do whatever he thinks gets called.
There's everything's in play. You could
Ari
see.
has a lot of ace high. I am very surprised.
He's going to check back. And,
I think that was a little bit of a missed opportunity.
Yeah. What's the number that came to your mind?
All of those numbers did. I could see him against some people betting like 700,000. I could see him betting the quarter like he just did against Cash. I could see him betting somewhere in the middle. I think when he's betting, he's going to target ace high a lot.
Yep.
So I don't think he's going to pick the 700 as much unless the two of them have a lot of history back and forth. But
well, I will say the two of them were getting coffee together this morning, so I assume that there's some level of history there.
Yeah, maybe they're friends. Andrew just like, all right, I got enough chips from you. We'll get to the next hand.
Or is this guy slow playing me with like an ace deuce kind of hand? Something. The two shouldn't be too scary for him, but
no, and it's actually pretty miserable if he gets bet into in that spot because like all the ace high hands and king high hands, they're just going to come in with the check anyway.
Yeah.
So when he bets, it's like you beat some 5s, maybe you beat some small pairs, and you beat like a missed flush draw. It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Jose with a good one here. Matthew with an interesting one.
I think at the end of the day for that one, Andrew's going to be happy to be back up to 5.5 million in chips here and bring the chips towards him.
He is, but he definitely could have maybe gotten another little bet out there out of Ari, you know.
Sure.
A little more separation between the two. Interesting spot here for Matt. Oh, he came in for the re-raise. Good for him.
That's going to get Paul to safety there. Otherwise, Paul was putting his chips in without question. But
I think there was a decent chance Paul would have saw the king-queen. But Jose's open is not fun for Paul either. I could have seen Paul pass in the spot anyway. This isn't fun for Jose either. And Matthew picked a decent size, just a little 2.7, 2.8. Puts all the pressure you need to on Jose here, who only has 20 bigs. Even though his hand's really good, it's like a tough spot because now everyone's bunched up. You know, Jose started this hand in 5th place still, but
right next to Ari and Cash.
Yeah, if he found a way to win this hand, he's in 3rd place already today, which is a great start.
You can see the pain on Paul's face.
I was just gonna say the same thing. He's like, "What is going on, guys?"
It's such a good hand for 6 bigs, you know, and then it immediately turns into sigh, you know. Uncomfortable, toss it.
I think if Paul went in too, Jose would have ended up folding pretty happily. Now it's like a very tough spot with ace-jack suited because the hand's so good, but Matthew hasn't really done anything out of line just yet. Who knows how much they've played before this. Maybe he's seen some stuff. This might be the trickiest hand to have here is ace-jack suited.
Jose is a very, very solid player, very accomplished.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that this works, just because like the situation at hand too.
Yeah.
He's coming for the call. I guess the 3-bet was a little too small. Surprised Jose has a lot of calls in this spot, but I guess his hand, like if he's gonna have some calls, it'd be hands like this that are just way
hand,
too
right?
good to fold.
Yeah.
If he gets anything, I think you're gonna see it go in.
And Matthew goes into the lead of the hand with the pair of 7s on the 8-7-6 board
Yeah,
here.
that's a pretty bad board for Jose. Obviously, Matthew hitting the 7's going to be.
He could bet one big blind. He could bet 100 big blinds, and I don't think Jose is going to come along for anything.
It's already very awkward for him though, and it is kind of a dangerous board. If Matthew bets, it's. I don't think he's going to have a lot of results he likes. The result he's going to like is Jose folding. He doesn't really want to go crazy on a board like this too. It's very wet. Jose might.
He is going to check it back.
He's taking his showdown value a little early.
And that gives Jose some outs.
Yeah, Jose wants to bluff this board. I think if you bet, he's going to get a fold out of Matthew. But I also don't think Jose's going to. I expect this to go check a lot. If we're going to see anything funky, I think it's going to be on the river. I really don't think if Matthew didn't bet the flop, there's no way he's going to bet here. Yeah, he didn't even take too long. Interesting card on the river. Like, if anybody bets at it, they're going to win. Jose has, like, the only hand that...
The only hand
he doesn't have anything with here.
Yeah.
So, like, if he ever is bluffing, it's going to be with this hand. I think he'd feel a little more comfortable if he had a club in his hand, but he's just giving up.
Check. Yeah.
Matthew's going to be incredibly thrilled at that. Jose's going to be a little sad to see that hand given pre-flop.
It's tough to
Paul's
find.
going to be super pissed because he had the king-queen.
And he hit the queen on the river, yeah.
Not to needle my buddy over there, but that was his run out somehow.
That's one of those that...
Paul's looking at Matthew like, what are you doing, man? Just fold, and I'm all in, and I beat the ace-jack call.
That's the hand on the river when you're looking for the bluff. Like, what could this guy be bluffing? He had the only hand that makes sense for him to have there that could be a bluff.
Yeah.
If he put chips out there, he's going to take it down.
Jose, I can't see Jose having a worse hand on the river when he's calling a re-raise than ace-jack on that board. It's just nothing.
And then what bluff is he going to have there? It's literally one move.
Yeah, if he had ace-king, he has nothing, but he's going on pre-flop. So.
Yep, ace-10's got the straight. And
ace-queen now makes the pair.
Yep.
I think Paul's going to end up being all in here with this 7-6.
I'm serious.
Being super
short. Like, the guy won't stop. I said, Joe, I like Joe a lot.
Oh, no, he just pitched
that.
I'm kind of surprised.
Every single night. Like, I'll go to dinner with him like once every 2 months, but not every night.
Yeah, that's all a bunch of bullshit.
I think he
it would have worked for him, too.
Really
yeah, he would have gotten that one through.
Yep.
Matt's trying to tell everybody how I go to dinner with him every 2 months. If he's lucky, I'll acknowledge him about it every 2 years.
What? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, never mind.
No, he really does. He asks me to go out to dinner all the time.
To clarify, I have not done that, and I never will, and it's the other way around. Sadly for Matt, I've never said yes. Or I've said yes and not shown, just to, maybe get him to stop. But, he's
You've got your little back and forth
game.
You've got your game.
He likes to go for it. I respect the hustle.
You have any comments on his choice of attire today? We see a whole bunch of people in hoodies, and he's in just the T-shirt.
Yeah, he looks the same way he always looks. He's just there ready to go. Paul with another interesting one, the King 7 suited. He's got to be the big blind next hand too. He might end up putting this one through.
Yeah, here it comes. All but everything. Yeah, all but 50,000.
Just in case 3 people go all in, he could still somehow fold. But
fold to 11.
He's not going to fold too much here.
No.
I think he's going to get a caller and Jose here.
We're going to get an ISO from Jose, you would think. Oh, Matthew with a hand.
An interesting one.
Wow. I think ISO all in here from Jose, and then Matthew.
Matthew should absolutely fold.
Pitches it.
If Jose puts it in, Jose's not going to have too much worse. Yeah, he did that pretty quickly, too. So he came in with the call. Just a little more interesting now. Now it's a tougher spot for Matthew.
Yeah.
Somehow. He made a face.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. I think the face, like, when you make a face like that, I think initially it's going to be a fold, but it's not the worst spot for Paul. He's live. There's an ace dead.
It's for Matthew here, though, with that reaction. Like, this is like almost the worst hand to have here. It's just strong enough that you want to make the call, and it's not strong enough that you really want to be in the hand.
I think if Matthew plays the hand, he's going to play it for all of his chips, though. I don't think he's going to end up just calling here. And
Sure.
having Jose have 800,000 back with like a 1.5 million pot. He is thinking about it pretty hard. He already used a time bank on it. It's a reasonable spot to use a time bank. I just think with the final table dynamics, though, it's just going to be a fold, especially when Jose calls.
He's going to want to find better
got
spots
a lot
than
of
this.
chips.
He's going to want to find better
Time bank
spots.
number 2 as well. The more time banks he used to, I think the more like medium strength he is. Not that Jose's particularly worried in this spot, but like
Now, if
Jose wanted Matthew to just snap fold. He doesn't want to deal with this. You know, he's sitting there like probably sweating real heavy right now because he doesn't want Matthew to put it in. Well, he's coming
just
in.
going to call.
He's going to call. Maybe we'll see some scenarios where Paul gets the fold post flop. The two of them go all in.
I mean, all low diamonds, and you might see that.
This is kind of crazy because Matthew can easily get Jose off the best hand and be good against Paul. King high board. I think Paul's going to be good with that. All spades.
Jose will be in with this with the nut flush draw.
Yeah, this is not Matthew's board. Paul's got a lot to fade, but he can't complain. I don't think we're going to see this 50 go in by Paul. I think he's going to hold on to it to the river, even if he has the best hand. Nope. Well, that'll do it. That one's going to end it. Jose has got to be thrilled with that card, though.
It's a shame. Does Paul ever get away with that last 50K with the 4 spades on the board, though?
I'd be surprised at the end. Oh, he put it in now, even. Kind of surprised he put it in here.
Yeah. He's not going to get a fold out of this.
No.
You're not going to get it.
Paul is going to finish in 6th place.
Yeah. Of course. But you're like in no circumstances any even pair no spade going to fold to 50,000 there.
He got Matthew to fold. I mean,
well, yeah, because Jose was already.
Jose called to 50, but I mean Matthew's getting $1 billion to 1. He
So
can still
weird.
hit a queen to make a straight.
All right, GG's, boy.
Good run for Paul. Was hoping to see him get some chips. I think we would have been in for a treat if we did. Sadly for him, he didn't get anything going, and sometimes that just happens. Still a good result for him, of course.
You're not gonna fold over anyway.
No, I know.
It's a real interesting hand now because now Jose's in 3rd. Coming in 6th, or tied for 6th. Already get up there. Jose's had a good day so far.
Yeah, and that'll be Paul Volpe out in 6th for 36,600. You'll see the updated chip counts here. Kash Corpening and Ari Katz pretty close to each other on 22, 24 bigs, and Jose just ahead of them. Then a little bit of gap to Andrew and Matthew. And as we continue here, you know, the money's only going to get bigger, and the chip stacks are a little bit deeper. You know, we now have a little bit more playability for some of the stacks, but it gets yourself into trouble anytime when you're in that 20 to 30 bigs. When there's that many people in that range, you're going to potentially get yourself into trouble anytime you go in. But you've also got enough to be able to play a little bit too, so we're going to have an interesting dynamic coming up here.
Yeah, this is a real good spot for Andrew too because he's got position on Matthew. So I expect him to be pretty active 5-handed if he can be. Already here opening up a uninspiring ace-9, but 5-handed, that's a pretty good hand. Opening up into the 2 big blinds too. Gonna get that one through. Good result for Ari.
Nothing I could have done.
Every time one of these 3 guys that are real close wins a pot, there's going to be like jumping in their chip stacks now. So it's going to be interesting over and over.
What he does.
To see how it goes. They got to navigate with caution on that tricky stack. But
I'm gonna have to fold.
they're still going to have to.
But if he
They're still going to have to try to play and win some chips out of it.
Not folding.
No, I know, but
Jose talking about that ace-queen spot, saying if Matt went all in and Paul somehow folded his 50, Jose would have to fold his best hand.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a sick fold for Jose. Like, it makes you sick to your stomach.
Yeah, but Paul's
you
not
have
folding.
to. No, no.
Fold for 50.
No.
It'll be easier for Jose. It's actually a pretty gross spot though if Matt shoves, even if Paul calls, because ace-queen's like good but not great.
Yeah. And it would have gotten Paul a triple up.
Paul had some ways to win that hand.
He would have beaten the ace-10 shove if it would have come through.
Absolutely, if Jose found a way to fold that. But I don't know, Jose would have been getting pretty good odds there, and Matthew's going to have enough hands where ace-queen might do too well.
Comes
Andrew coming in with the call because the hand's pretty good. 7-6 suited. He wants to see the flop. He doesn't want to raise and get shoved on here. So
Good hand to see a flop out of position.
yeah, Andrew's going to do a good job of mixing these raises and limps too.
You got like 1.8?
I started with 2.
And as we continue 5-handed here, our table has locked up almost $46,000 each, with our next pay jump going up to 65,000. So 20,000 pay jump at play here as we continue.
Andrew coming out for a bet here, getting a little aggressive. He's got a lot of backdoors. Ari with the king high. It's going to be the best hand a lot because Andrew's, as you can see, Andrew's betting these, but he doesn't really want to get involved with Andrew right now, knowing that it's going to be hard for him to continue on a lot of turns and rivers. The way the chips are, protecting his chips is pretty not a bad idea for him when everyone's really close. It's a really tough spot for those three guys in the middle.
Yep.
Andrew and Matt just kind of can do what they want.
Yeah, Andrew knows this, and like you said, Andrew
definitely knows this.
Loving the spot with Matthew on his right and the 3 on his left.
Yeah, sometimes you get to the final table and the chips break out, your seat just becomes really good. And Andrew's, as of right now, is there. I mean, Matthew's still got a lot of chips. He's not going to be afraid or anything. He's not going to just, fold to Andrew over and over and let Andrew run it. And Matt's still going to play his cards, as he should, too. I don't think Andrew's going to look to go battling with Matt too hard anyway.
Yeah, and as we'll see here, obviously Matt will be joining us in this pot here.
And so will Andrew.
Look at that.
This is right on cue.
Look
This
at
is going to
that.
be a good, interesting one to see how Andrew wants to proceed.
We just talk about them not wanting to mix it up, and they get Delta hand to mix it up a little bit.
If there's going to be some chips going in on this one. I kind of don't expect Andrew to get super aggressive here. I think Andrew might just call because he doesn't want to bloat a massive pot with Matthew, even in position with a hand as strong as queens.
And we've seen this, kind of talked about it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, right on cue. There he is. He's just flattening it. I'm not surprised at that at all. I think it's good. The two guys behind, too, if they oh boy. I was going to say, if the two guys behind pick up anything, too, they're going to squeeze it in, and they're both going to be in gross spots.
Yeah, and
this becomes a gross. Well, Andrew's obviously going to be calling here. It's a pretty gross spot for Matthew as well for the chips. This is a 20 big blind
it's a great squeeze spot for Cash.
It's a great squeeze spot for Cash. Matthew knows this, but I think he also knows that I don't think Cash is like going crazy here. We haven't seen Cash really want to put it in too much with the middle pairs, even in good spots. So this is a gross spot for Matthew, regardless. Andrew already knows. Andrew's like, Matthew folds, I'm snapping.
Yeah.
Andrew's like, I got him to squeeze. We're happy here, which is another thing. It's a good disciplined fold by Matthew, and well, this is an amazing spot for Cash.
Andrew's going to put the chips in, and
I knew it.
Yeah, Andrew's face.
Well,
they might have went away, but you can see Andrew like wincing when he saw that hand. This is a huge hand for Andrew too, and Cash. Obviously, it's his tournament life. But if Cash doubles up, and him and Andrew are going to have the same chips,
and if
Matthew would have a much bigger lead on them too. This changes everything.
If Andrew does hit the miracle here, he will be the new chip leader.
Yeah, him and Matthew will be neck and neck. And then it'll be a big deal. I mean, I know who Ari and Jose are rooting for.
Yes, the $20,000 in their pocket on Andrew.
Yes, and I know who Andrew's rooting for.
I'm not pretending to be impartial. I'm rooting for Andrew. No offense to Cash or any of his supporters.
Well, this is a big one for Cash. Cash, you can tell right away. Cash is feeling this. He's 80-20, and he's just feeling it.
He's already said, I'm winning this pot.
I don't even know if that. He's just sitting there, though, knowing that this is a massive spot for him.
A clean flop for him right there.
Big bunch of bricks, no back doors. Andrew's just going to have to see a lady. That's not a lady. Nor is that. And Cash is back in there. You saw him. Oh, he is excited. He got right back down, ready to go.
Yep.
Cash, you know Cash wants this too. Cash doesn't want to go home. Cash is having way too much fun. New chip stacks, him and Andrew neck and neck. Jose and Ari a little bit behind him. That changes things right on the fly.
Matthew loves that.
Matthew loves it too, and I mean Matthew made a very good fold there pre-flop. You know that was a no joke.
It's very easy when, especially with it being suited. It's very easy to maybe want to go crazy there.
I'm not folding there a lot of the time. You know, on a final table though, everyone's a little tighter. The hands are a lot more.
And it wasn't a small rip from Cash either.
It was a good 20-21 bigs. Also,
just in your favor.
Yeah,
when Cash or
my kings here.
when Matt folded, Andrew snapped, and the first thing Matt said was, "I knew you had a big hand to Andrew."
Well, we've seen that a lot throughout
before he even turned it over.
Throughout the weekend, and mentioned it very briefly earlier, is we've seen a lot of buttons flatting those premium hands, especially with these squeeze stacks behind. I mean, Andrew got exactly what he wanted. Unfortunately, it wasn't what he wanted.
He just doesn't want to go play an all-in pot with Matthew without like the stone nuts right now. He wants to play small pots against him, or at least like be able to control his own pots. That's one of the reasons he flatted. If Andrew had 30 big blinds or whatever, that he would have been trying to get it in. Yeah, but the way it was, he knows he doesn't want to finish in 5th right now, just busting to Matthew in one hand.
But he also knows that, you know, 9s, 10s, jacks are going to do the same thing.
Oh yeah,
so he's just waiting.
Yeah, the situation he got was incredible.
Unfortunate.
This is an incredible situation for Jose here. We're now seeing the big hands go up against each other. Matthew with the easy raise. I would assume Jose needs to try to re-raise this, get it in some capacity. These are the hands like pocket jacks through pocket 9s are the ones we're just seeing big big reshoves with. That would put Matthew in another disgusting spot if he did it too.
This would be just under 30 bigs total coming out of Jose over here. We'll see what he wants to do.
He's just coming in for the 3-bet. That's going to be pretty awkward for Matthew. I kind of expect him to call and see the flop though.
See how big of it was. It looked like
made it 550, 575, a little more.
I'm struggling to see the number with the yellow right there.
I'm also assuming half the time because the way Jose's playing, kind of just. I was thinking if he was going to re-raise, you're going like 3.5 here. He made it a little less than 3.5. He just isn't a fun spot for Matthew. His hand's really good though. The way he plays, I kind of expect him to see the flop.
He is also in position on Jose, so if he does choose to do that, he will be able to reevaluate
he is, yeah. He shouldn't be flatting too many hands, but again, we're seeing these guys have some of these like
they have the
flat
hands
a lot.
that
They
make
have the
sense
hands that
in
make
that
a lot of
spot.
sense to flat though.
Yeah.
If you thought Jose was crazy, you'd probably be all in here with the 9s, but it's a spot where Jose really isn't incentivized to get out of line. Another ace-side board for these guys. This will slow it down.
No, it's interesting though. If Jose does check this, you'd want to see a c-bet out of him here, just to follow through on the 3-bet. It's not necessarily the easiest c-bet for him from an early position open from Matthew. If he checks this, Matthew can lead at this, and Jose having the spade might come along, but it certainly might work choosing depending on his sizing.
No, he's coming in for the very, very small bet. That's going to probably get Matthew to continue because Matthew also has a spade. He bet 130, almost a 10th of the pot. This is the same situation that Matthew was in earlier with the queens versus the 10s on the ace-side board. He just wants to get there real cheap. The difference, though, in that one was Matthew was in position. So for Jose, it can get a little greasy if Matthew gets sticky or aggressive. Matthew just has a really easy call here. The price is too good. He still knows he's facing off against a good thing. He doesn't like the ace either. Gets a little bit of money in, though, sets up the pot. Nobody wants to see that card. I don't really expect Jose to put in any money here out of position. It just stinks being out of position because Matthew had the chance to do that like small bet set his price thing. Jose can't really do that because if he gets called, he doesn't get to just get auto check 2 on the river.
Yep. And this is a really good spot for Matthew to hopefully sniff that out and put in something here, because if he puts in that same 130, that's the misery bet for Jose.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen much. I think Matthew's just going to kind of take this one to the river.
If you do have a decent ace, though, there's now 2 flush draws on the board, so you don't want to give free cards if you're trying to portray that you have the strength.
Matthew actually went for kind of a big bet here. He went for 6 something. It's going to work. I think he's going to win the pot. I don't think there's any way Jose can continue. This is a good sniff out by Matthew, like you said. I didn't expect him to do it with his hand, but it's a good one to do it with if he really puts Jose on kings, jacks, or 10s.
It's weird because queens is right in that same exact
and aces, and I think all of those have a really good spot to check. There's already only pot left, so you could shove the river really comfortably with all of those hands and try to get called.
But it also makes Matthew's any future decisions really, really easy. Even if he flats, if Matthew hits a 9, I don't think Matthew's going to put in the river bet.
Yeah, I think he would have to if he hit a 9. But that's a good analysis by Matthew there to kind of figure out what was going on.
It's a weird spot for me, Andrew.
It's a weird spot for
Joe
him too.
Pronouncing.
No, it's a weird spot because I'm here, not because of the spot.
You know he trained me, right?
That didn't happen. Unless he wins.
He was my mentor for a while.
I've heard that many times.
Best friend.
No,
yeah,
Joe was
best
my
friend,
mentor for a while.
lover,
Joe
roommate,
trained me and coached me, and
I mean,
now he's
he
in
tries
the
to
booth
feed
at
me.
my
You know,
biggest
that's what all
spot.
those guys do.
It's like screwing with me a little bit.
I mean,
he
hey,
can
Matt,
hear
I
your
wouldn't have done
voice.
what you did, but I wouldn't have won the pot, so good job on that one.
He can hear your voice in his head right now.
Yeah. That's what he's thinking.
Can only
What does
imagine
Joe
what he's
think I
saying
should
about
do
me
here?
right
Well, he
now.
was wrong, but he was right, so. It's a great spot for Matthew, though, the way the chips are, if he wants to get really aggressive. We haven't seen him, like, he 3-bet the ace-7 in a good spot, but besides that, for the most part, like, he's been dealt easy decisions so far. Cash with a good fold on the button, I think, into Matthew's big blind. He doesn't really want to get too out of line.
I mean, the ace-10 of clubs wasn't an easy decision. The ace-jack of clubs, I mean, it ended up being fairly easy, but still not a fun spot.
I mean, like, he hasn't looked at, like, loose hand to open. All of his opens have been pretty good hands. He's been getting dealt very easy first decisions, I should say. Yeah, he's been put to a couple of decisions, and so far he's done a lot of passing of the test. I think the ace-10 he should have folded, but
it's right at the that's right on that cusp of.
I
Obviously,
think
suited makes you feel that much more attached to it as well.
Yeah,
and it wasn't that much for him.
It's just awkward because Jose only has so little left. You know, his call is going to be a real strong hand. I don't think Jose is sitting there like getting out of line trying to just knock Paul out so badly. So
he's not getting a weaker ace to call before him there.
He even might, but like if Matthew plays the hand, it's going to be really hard anyway if Jose does anything on the flop.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy for him to just be like, okay, Jose generally has me beat here and fold.
Here comes Ari with the raise on the king-jack from under the gun.
Yeah, it's
doesn't look like he's going to get any takers.
Again. Yep. These guys, they're short. They have to navigate, but they still can't shy away from playing their decent hands.
You can't miss that spot. You know, I know there's some people, especially with a larger table, more at the table, that might muck the king-jack off early position in a kind of ICM-heavy spot with 5 people left in the stacks that they have. You can't miss those spots. Before too long, the blinds will be going up. With the big blind ante, it can catch up with you really, really quickly. So it's really important to make sure you're not missing those spots.
5-handed under the gun, he's the hijack. So a lot of people are going to open the king-jack and the hijack. He's just looking to stay afloat. He doesn't need to get too out of line. But, you know, if when he raises him, he can just fold that hand. Nothing wrong with it.
And you see exactly kind of what Cash did. You find that one spot, and now Cash is up into the 45 bigs, very, very healthy, and one, you know, you're basically one hand away from a chip lead. You're one hand away. You know, it's not, as long as you can kind of keep yourself afloat, like you said, it's not that far for you to stack up and really accumulate.
I agree. Now, we were talking about how good Andrew's seat was earlier when he had a lot of chips. You know, Cash got that double. He has a bunch of chips now, but his seat's a little worse. He's going to be opening into Matthew and Andrew a lot more. So it does become a little harder for him to navigate. But I know Cash ain't going to back down anyway. You know, he's opening the queen-jack lead he's supposed to here. Got ace-8 to fold. That's a great result for him.
We were talking about this a little bit. This is the lower sizing from Cash, which is where, you know, some of what we've seen over the weekend from him has been those 3x, 4x pre-flop. We saw the small pair with the min bet or the min raise pre. You see the queen jack just over the min raise pre. We've seen him going 3x, 4x pre with premiums. It would have been interesting to see if, ooh, this is a fun flop.
Yeah,
but interesting to see if that ace-8 on the button could have found that 3-bet pre and really put Cash in a spot where he's hating his open there.
Ari had a good one to defend. Cash bet about half the pot on this flop. Ari's got way too much of it to do anything but just call.
Yep. And Cash has plenty here too with the 2 overs in the open end.
Yeah, that eight, we might be four-handed if an 8 comes off on this turn. But we know that Cash is maybe opening a little smaller with the queen jacks, opening bigger with the big ones. We haven't seen it yet today, and I don't know if these guys know that. So like a spot like Matthew, he thought about it for, oh boy.
Oh, you called that
there
one.
There it is, the
offsuit
offsuit 8
curse.
too. That one's gonna hurt. It's gonna be real hard for Ari to get out of this one.
Unless Cash, for whatever reason, which we haven't seen from him at any point, decides he's going to slow down this turn and something that kills the action comes on the river. The jack.
Ari doesn't have to go broke. Ari might check call if, you know, Cash comes in with a bet here. Ari could check call, and there are some bad rivers like a 7, a queen, or a jack where Ari might not want to go. I think Ari's going to lead this though, and if he leads it, I think Cash is just going to be all in and get quickly called here. We might be four-handed a little faster than we thought we'd be with some really nice stacks.
Yeah, we will have a lot of playability here if we go to four-handed. Not to get ahead of this, but here comes.
Ari's coming in for the lead because he wants Cash to not check back a pair. He wants Cash to put in some money with a pair. Oh, Cash with a little act, looking to the sky like I don't know what to do.
Like the ace-jack kind of hand here, the ace-10, something that Cash could.
Hands rubbing, head down.
Yep. Do you think that that's enough of a tell for Ari to pick up on and maybe get away if Cash now decides he's going to blast?
No, I don't think so. Ari just has a straight, man.
Sure.
It's a little hard. Cash using the time chip. Oh, he's learned something. He must have been studying a little bit with the time chips, knowing to take some fake time sometimes when he's real strong. He still looks like he doesn't know what to do. This isn't a spot where like he should know what to do. He's obviously thinking between call and raise. He looks like he is going to come in for the raise though. And I think he's just going to go all in and call. If those chips go in the middle, he's holding. There they go. I mean, he just oozes strength live. I don't think Ari's going to fold a straight here. I don't think I would fold a straight here, but man, you might want to.
If ever, with the way that, and again, I've obviously seen Cash a little bit over the weekend a couple different times here. With the way that Cash is presenting himself, he is presenting as strong as he is.
Yes, absolutely.
If there's ever like that live read pickup, if there's ever a time in his life that Ari makes the hero fold, maybe, just maybe, with the amount of strength that is just oozing out of Cash right now, that maybe he can do it. But I think it's, like you said, it's very, very tough. He has this straight.
I also don't know how much Ari actually looked at Cash there. It looked like Ari was looking down the whole time it was on Cash, so he might not have even seen any of it. Getting raised on this turn, though, is kind of gross, because, like, what are you getting raised by that you're crushing? You have a straight, but, like, he's probably not raising two pairs. He's probably not raising three of a kind. Yeah, there it is.
Call.
That's going to end it for Ari. That's a tough one.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate, Ari. Tough run, bad card.
Okay.
Blame Matt again. Matt's 3-bet. Matt could have 3-bet that pre-flop, you know. He could have been out of there, so.
Very nice run for Ari Katz, though, picking up $45,900 for his 5th place finish here at the Borgata Fall Poker Open Championship.
That's tough. Jose's got to be one of the happiest guys on the table, though. He came in 6th. He's already got up to 4th.
2 ladders, and he's healthy still, too.
He's got more chips than he started with.
Yeah.
That's a tough one for Ari. Matt has Grim Reapered 2 people out of the situation so far. He re-raised to get Paul out with that king-queen when he would have doubled up. And now he didn't re-raise here when I think if he did, Cash would just folded the queen-jack, and the 9-7 suited definitely would have folded the big blind. Now Cash has got the big chip stack, you know. And now Andrew's got a little bit of navigation to go. He's got a guy who's a lot shorter than him, and doubling up Cash there in that brutal spot changes the thing. Every hand, every big hand changes everything, and this is why this guy's got to adjust on the fly.
And down to our final 4, the dynamic for Andrew's seating position is now quite a bit different, because he was to the right of smaller stacks. He's now directly opposite the smaller stack and flanked by 2 people that cover him. It's kind of a much more precarious spot for him to be, instead of sitting there and hopefully able to bully and pick up some chips on his own. He now has to be very, very cautious.
As soon as Cash flipped over 2 kings, Andrew knew he had to tighten up. And it's just exacerbated here. Andrew's definitely not going to complain about, though. He got the 4-handed. He's still got 46 bigs. And, like, there is a bit of a difference. I think Matthew would potentially play back a little more than Cash would. I don't see Cash coming out 3-betting the ace-8 offsuit either, or the ace-7 suited as much. I think Cash is the type of player who's more likely to call and want to see the flop. So at the very least, you're playing like flops and smaller pots than having a lot of your pressure put in pre-flop.
Now we've also seen Cash getting, bloating pots too, getting those 3, 4, 5x and half pot, full pot sizes.
Yeah, I mean he can be tough to play post flop, but if you're raising with king queen and you miss the flop and you just start putting 3, 4, 5, you're losing 2 big blinds.
You get away from that pretty quick.
Yep. Looks like Cash wants to see the flop here. Jose with the big one.
He's connected enough to want to defend and see if
he's got a lot of chips now too. Cash is going to be in some pots. We're going to see Cash doing some stuff.
When we had him on the stream on Sunday, I actually saw him over dinner break, or might have been after the stream had ended. There's Cash with the top pair.
This one might be trouble. Jose doesn't
him.
have much too.
This could just be.
He likes to come out and lead with his pairs. There it goes.
There it is. I saw Cash on dinner break and popped over and had just said to him, it was a lot of fun watching you play. I really appreciate the way he mixes it up. It makes it fun for us commentating, because he's, as you can see, he's mixing it up. He's going to be in pots. We're going to see flops. We're going to see action.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I don't see Jose slow playing this one. I think Jose is just going to be all in.
unfortunately,
Unless he's
Kash-
going to click it to like 500, but I think with just 1.3 million. I think with just 1.3 million, Jose's just going to kind of go all in and get called by a 10 plenty, maybe get called by an 8. There's a lot of draws out there. A lot of cards could kill his action here, so there
Yeah.
he goes.
Yep.
I don't really see Kash folding, even though his kicker's pretty bad for all the same reasons. Jose could have all these draws. He could have an 8.
Kash did just get these chips. Now, it's not that huge of a call. It's only, what, 12 and a
Yeah,
half,
I think
13
Jose's a
bigs
little too short to really
for
think
him to
this
get
through.
away from this too much. But he can't feel good about that now if he leads and Jose rips over the top of that. Because Jose, as we've seen, hasn't really been out of line at all.
Very true. Oh, that's
He
a
does
great fold from Kash.
very,
I did
very
not think that was coming, yeah. I was just going to give him credit for not snap calling, honestly, because I thought he would for sure. But, you know, Kash, that's a good fold. Not one I thought that would happen.
No, he likes mixing it up, but again, very disciplined, keeping himself from getting into too much trouble there.
Yeah, I guess he knew Jose wasn't really going to be messing around too much. You know, now that's one where like Jose wishes he has the king queen of clubs, and it's like, oh, that was a great shove. You know, I got the bluff through, but
That's stack
you know,
20 Kash.
he's
Gives
going to
him
be a
the
little sad
opportunity
to
to
see
do
Kash
that.
folding a 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's. I don't want to say it's surprising because of the weakness of the kicker, but you know we see Kash lead the 10, and he's going to fold out a lot of random ace jacks.
6.5.
You know, Jose's not in a position where he really wants to put in a half pot call, even in position there.
Yeah, he had a 10 though in a four-handed
Yeah,
poker
that's
game
total
with
6
a
points.
pretty draw-heavy board.
5.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm wrong.
Jose could have been shoving a lot of draws there. He
5.5.
might have just had like pocket 9s even and been like, okay, hand's too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Andrew specifically was probably sad to see that hand go fold.
Yeah,
But
'cause
when
that
he
would have
runs
brought
it back,
Kash right back down.
yeah,
It would have kind of
if Kash
collected the
calls
ball
with
together.
Jose, the three of them would be all even with Matthew having like twice what they got. It would be a weirder situation for sure.
Jose would have jumped up to second or just shy. I think after
They,
the
the
pot,
three of them would have been all
yeah,
close
real
for
close.
sure.
Sorry, I don't think I put it on here. Let me put it here first.
Jose's got a pair
Yeah,
here.
I'm going to get a nice little defend here, you would think.
He could find a shove. The way Jose plays, I think he's going to defend, but he could definitely find a jam here. He is pretty clearly fourth,
Yep.
and his hand's going to stink on the flop unless he hits a deuce. I bet if he didn't win that last pot, he'd be all in here.
Yep.
But with 24, 23 big blinds, he can go mining some sets, and I mean sometimes Matthew won't even see bet the flop. Almost.
He does have
Three of
the ace of
diamonds.
diamonds, so I think good chance we'll see Matthew follow through
Yeah,
and
and
take it
Matthew's
down.
just going to do a lot of c betting in general. I think this is a good one to do it with. Just get Jose to fold a lot of hands that miss, and then the rare spots he has like exactly deuces, you can get the best hand to fold. He came out small.
Yep.
I don't think Jose's even thinking about it. He knows that like he can't really improve.
Yeah.
He only has one clean out. Even the two of diamonds is a great card, but like he's still
Is it
gonna
though?
potentially be.
Yeah.
So now what?
Why are you talking so low today?
Because we're on mic.
So what?
So you're screaming into the thing.
I'm not screaming. I
You
barely
are
said 2
screaming,
words.
I
man.
have
I know
nothing
that's
to
your
say.
normal voice, but you usually scream.
I said button moves.
I'm getting text messages about Joe begging me to go to dinner. I mean, I'm trying to freaking focus on a tournament.
Hey, I'm going to
maybe I
jump in on
should.
the, I'm going to
Yeah,
jump
maybe
in
I
on the
should.
I'm going to jump in on the dinner conversation. And Andrew, you owe me dinner
I heard he's doing very
for giving
well.
you the commentator of the stream run good here.
Joe.
I want my dinner.
I mean,
Yeah, and
who's
Andrew,
more
I gave you
comfortable
like
than McKeon?
55 big blinds in the money of the last main here, so you know if you want to throw me a kickback, I'm not going to complain either.
Take both of us.
Yeah, in your defense, you did have a better hand than me, so I can't blame you for that. But you know, I remember Jose with a pretty one here. I think he's going to be in there for 80,000. Matthew with a hand, not the worst, not the best. It exists.
It's one of the hands in poker.
It's definitely one of the hands in poker. It's somewhere in the middle, and I kind of.
You'll see
It's
some
best us to
people
see
raising
through.
here. You'll see some people deciding to take that 10-8 and wanting to make a raise over the limp. Obviously, Matt here choosing to check.
I don't think these players are going to take that hand and try to limp it because these hands are okay to see the flop with. You're going to flop a bunch of top pairs and middle pairs. You're going to be
Open
okay.
and straight draws. And
Yeah, Matt's going to come in with a bet here, I think, and just win the pot. He's got 10 high. If he gets Jose to fold like king 3, that's a great result. And if he gets called, that's fine. He can
plenty of things to help
He can
him
make
out.
the nuts on the turn.
Yep.
Jose's got 6-5 of clubs. He
Just
has
so
no
you know.
connectability. This one's going to be over. Not even a club on the flop. Nope, small pot for Matthew.
And he's doing pretty
doesn't
much
have
everything
to.
he needs, right? He's sitting up there in chips. He's picked up some chips today. He's stayed out of danger. He's played the game that he needs to play right now.
He started about 7 million. He's up to 8 million. He hasn't done much. The ace-10 suited hand was probably his biggest loss, and that wasn't too much. He 3-bet once with with the worst hand and made a pair and checked it down. He won that big pot with the nines.
Got out of trouble on with the kings and queens hand when you have a suited Broadway. You know, he's been very solid throughout the day. So
Ace Jack suited is a pretty powerful hand, four-handed, and he found a way to fold. I think if other people shoved and not cash, he might have been a little.
Yeah. Well, you heard him though. He was wary also of quarters flat with the queens too. So it's. Yeah, he was very much in touch with what was going on around him. Andrew's flat on the button there, and him immediately raising red flags.
Yeah, Matt kind of knows what's going on, and that's really important. We got a lot of interesting hands
Apparently
here.
not with your dinner plans, though.
No, that is, maybe I should start texting him for dinner. Maybe he'll.
From random numbers, though.
We'll get some action here.
Yeah.
We'll get a little extra action of him here. Maybe I'll get him off his game a bit. Very awkward spot for Jose with 20 bigs. These hands play pretty good as shoves in these spots, and Cash has a hand that would fold, but
Cash at
2.5x.
2.5x, and you know,
Matt's sitting behind with a hand that's going to see the flop too. Nope, he's not going to see the flop.
Nope.
Jose did it.
Jose
seems to be pretty in touch with like his good shove ranges, his stacks. He seems very good on good with the technical shorter stuff. And if you play online a lot, that's something you're going to get better at because you're going to be a lot shorter more often.
20 bigs here going in, and Cash
is going to fold.
Take a quick second to think about it and get out of the way.
Nobody likes to fold fast pre-flop. I don't get it, man. You can just raise a bad hand, get shoved on, and know you can't call and fold fast.
And he's got the chips. He plays enough. Like no one's gonna ever think twice. Like, oh, is this the time he does or doesn't have it if he folds it quick?
Yeah, it's a final table. I don't blame him for taking 5 seconds just to assess the situation. But I mean, the situation is you got shoved on for a lot of chips, and you got ace-7 offsuit. You know, it's not good enough. So.
Maybe you're doing a little bit of math for future, thinking, okay, he's on 20 bigs here. He's shoving in this range. Maybe he's just setting aside a little information for down the line before letting the hand go. But
yeah, he didn't even get a count of the thing though, so it was kind of like he knew it was. If you have a decision, you're going to get a count most of the time. Like something like that, like the 5-10 second, you kind of just know you're folding.
But like you said, you never blame someone in a spot like this for taking that 5 or 10 seconds, just making sure.
Yeah, of course. So Cash is going to see the flop with this one.
Always.
Min raise, we got the 7-8 suited. Get in there.
Always. That's such a fun hand. Like those are the fun hands to wake up in the big blind with, where you get to see the flop. And
in Vegas,
I mean, one big blind. This is amazing. Jose's got 5s. He's not like loving it. He wanted to win the pot, but
we're getting some McKeon strip club stories. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I'm notorious around these parts. Bunch of nothing for anybody. I think Jose's just going to bet small here and kind of win the pot. But I also see people checking some of these spots kind of not to bluff. I think with 5s, though, it's really going to bet because just every card above
is never going to be
a 5 is bad. So yeah, getting Cash to fold 7. Cash was what, like 35% to win that hand still at Showdown. Yeah. Got that hand to fold for a small bet. Great result.
The overs, the board for the 6 gives him
any card above a 6, like he has to worry about not being beat.
Yep.
The Cash with the 7-8 can just fold easy.
34.
Jose is battling for sure. He's got to be comfortable on these shorter stacks. Just, I mean, if he's a tighter, solider player, you're going to end up getting on these stacks a bit more. So you got to give him a lot of credit for that.
Wow.
You play younger.
Has he even been all in today?
Thanks.
As who? Jose?
I don't think he's been called.
I don't think he's been called. I mean, we did just see him get the King 10 ripped through, but he hasn't been at risk.
He beat Paul in the all-in, but he had Paul covered.
Yep. Here comes Matthew with the King Queen.
That one's easy.
Very standard. Yep.
It's a good start. King 6 suited, Cash. No, he's sticking out as he should.
There's times where that's the kind of hand that I don't know. Actually, I haven't seen him as much with the kings. It's been like the aces, but Cash. Those are the kinds of hands that people love to see flops.
Yeah, from the blinds. People love to call their blinds for some reason. I don't know why.
You've already got money in, so you're getting in your mind. You're getting a little discount.
Yeah, they're four-handed though. I think Cash is like maybe, you know, Kash is not in here playing as loose and aggressive as he could because I think he understands that.
And you can see why on the screen right now. We're looking at what they're paying for the $65,000 already locked up. You know, he's
already on his biggest live cash. He doesn't want it to be 36 or 49. He wants it to be 200 if he can, but I also don't think he wants to do anything real stupid to really jeopardize his situation of getting there. I think he's still going to play his own solid game. He's going to play the pots the way he wants to.
Well, that's one of the interesting things. And here's an interesting one. Kash with the pair. Kash will certainly be raising here with the pair on the button.
Yeah, but Jose with kings again. Jose's gotten some cards today.
Wow.
Oh, Kash found the fold. Crazy.
I am surprised.
Matthew has an ace too. This could get dangerous. Let's see how Jose wants to play this. Jose going to be raising or is he going to be trapping?
26 bigs or so?
Yeah, he's coming with the raise. Matthew certainly won't be folding. It is kind of a lot to shove. You saw him give him the little stink eye right as soon as he looked at his cards there. Double check and make sure that 4 is not an ace.
I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake both ways.
Oh yeah, you got to double check this one a couple times.
Call.
Yep.
Good
kind
disciplined call from Matthew. He could have shoved in some situations, but
you can't really put Jose in an ICM bin here with Jose being the short stack, though.
He still has a lot of chips, though. I mean, it's not going to be great for him either way. Not the best flop for kings. Matthew has, you know, as far away from that as possible, though. So,
in this circumstance, yes, obviously we can see the cards. But to your point, like this is
not
a
surprised.
great flop for big blind defend. You're going to defend like that's one pair and a straight draw. That's your 7-6 is going to defend that.
Jose came in for the check too. I'm not surprised at this. Matthew just doesn't have anything, so. Queen's a pretty good card for Jose. I start expecting him to bet at this now. There's a lot of cards on the river that could kill some action.
Or a lot of cards that are scary and going to beat him, obviously not knowing that Matthew has the wheel ace here.
Yeah, but even if you bet here and get called in the river's a 10, you don't like it. If it's a 7 or 6 or a jack or even a queen's not the best, then he board paired. A lot of scary cards. I expect Jose to come out for a big bet too.
Something like 350, 400?
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. He went small though. Oh, I guess maybe he's just trying to induce Matthew here, or just try to get a call from like.
Or just not bloating the pots and just betting some of his value and reevaluating. But
yeah, he's kind of under rep here though, and it's really hard for Matthew to have a better hand than him when he checks back. So, like Matthew thought about it with ace-high for a little while, but Matthew can't really do anything on this board either. It's
not a good hand for it. I don't beat anything after that run out.
He said it.
Spot on analysis from Matthew.
Big one.
I don't think Jose would have minded playing a big one there, as we heard Matthew say. Could have played one.
Well, Matthew will be happy to see that he called pre and didn't decide to get out of the line.
Yeah, that's one of those that you file away, and being able to see it on on a delay 30 minutes later, he's gonna be patting himself on the back.
Yeah, and probably the only person that really cares heavily about that is Matthew. If you're watching the stream as Andrew and you see that hand, it's like
no,
okay,
you'll see it.
Whatever.
Right. It's like
Matthew's talking a big deal though, like his hand was like real good, like he had ace queen or something.
I mean, I could have got out of the line. I had
You're gonna see two dogs, but it's kind of.
No, Kash is gonna be happy that he folded the deuces.
You're gonna see two dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kash is paying attention, but
I think there's some people in Kash's ear though who are paying attention. We do get a lot of Kash support in the chat. I'm not.
You'd like to hope so. This is also Kash's first time maybe playing on one of these live streams. He might just be chilling.
Maybe on a final table. We had him a couple times earlier this week in the
That's true.
But
That's true.
0% chance I had.
It was a little bit different playing day 2 on a live stream and having some fun with it versus playing day 4 on a final table.
Day 2, you're playing your game. Although I will say, when you make it to one of these live stream tables, people do tend to play a little different. They either want to not embarrass themselves, so they play a lot tighter, or they want to like show off and they go really crazy and try to impress everybody. It's a weird dynamic to get put on one of these. And like having it here so early in the tournament makes it really weird too.
I just think the Raiders are going to
I've been on stream once myself, and I still minimally kick myself very, very end of the day, missed a spot because I didn't want to make the mistake at the end of the day on stream where everyone would have seen it.
I totally believe it too, man. That stuff just happens.
Missed a rip that was. It wasn't like a surefire rip, but it was one of those that everything teed up perfectly for me to do it, and it just got in my own head.
And you get to see, too, it would have worked, because you get to see everyone's cards. That's got to be the worst.
Yep.
Andrew with an interesting one here against Jose. Suited ace in the small. Jose opening kind of toward the bottom of what he's doing here. I kind of think Andrew's going to come in with a good 3-bet here. Jose has one of those stacks where it's, you know, tough to leverage. But Andrew also has kind of an awkward stack himself.
Yeah,
Coming in
and
for the call is okay as well. I think Cash is going to defend with the ace.
And Andrew kind of picking and choosing his spots to really mix it up. And
Yeah, like we said, Jose hasn't been out of line, but Jose's been pretty active today. So maybe, you know.
yeah, but we've seen him pretty active with jacks, queens, kings.
Of course, Andrew don't know that yet,
Yeah.
but
Three,
you know,
three
maybe he saw him eat his Wheaties
Underneath.
and thinks he's coming in aggressively today. Good flop for Andrew. No one else really has anything.
Not a bad flop for a big blind to defend over the top as well. Obviously not in this instance for Cash.
Cash won't be doing anything on this flop though,
No.
and I don't think Jose is going to end up betting this against both of the
He got
blinds.
30 now.
He's got some nice backdoors, but
Yeah.
he's playing too solid to really go crazy here. That card will change things.
That's big for Andrew right there.
He's going to go check. The way Cash plays, I think he might lead out. Oh, nope, he checked the
checked.
ace. Jose could get out of line on that card.
Yeah, it's a good card for Jose to
Yeah,
bet.
he will not be winning this pot, though. At least not yet. That's for sure.
No,
He will be
and Cash
three
might
ways.
get away from this if Jose bets and Andrew's not going anywhere with the ace and the flush draw.
Jose put a little tickler out there, small bet. It's going to go call, I'm pretty sure. Andrew's not going to be raising here. There's no purpose for him to. There's no value in raising.
The only value that he would get out of this is he gets that
he would
ace
get
deuce
Cash
out of
to
it.
fold
Yeah.
a worse ace, but I mean,
And
he's
choppy
not really
ace,
worried
too,
about Cash.
Yeah, that is
He's
also
more worried
fair.
about Jose on that card. Andrew
Oh, yes.
with the call. Cash is definitely going to call. This bet is too small for him to do anything else.
Yep.
And if nothing comes on the river, I think Andrew and Cash are just going to check this one down. And diamond, though, Andrew could lead. Oh, it is a
There
diamond.
is
Well,
the
Andrew
diamond.
will be winning the spot for sure.
Yes.
I don't see anything else. I think Andrew's going to come out with a bet here. Oh, no, he came in with the check. Cash is coming in with the bet. I'm kind of surprised. I thought this one would check through.
And
Small bet, too.
we've seen Cash leading with strength, so I don't think Andrews should be worried about Cash having filled up here at any
And
point.
Cash bet really small, and Andrew has an ace-high flush. Like, Cash could have a flush draw. I expect Andrew to make a big raise here
Yeah,
and just try to get
something
called by a flush. Or
putting
like a
like
7 that slow played this hard.
1.25, 1.3, putting like another mil
I was
on
thinking
top.
1.5 is the number I had in mind. Yeah, Andrew, especially as a super aggressive player, when he's a super aggressive player, he gets to kind of choose big sizings in these spots because if he's bluffing, he really wants to make sure to get that ace to fold. I don't really think it matters what he raises here. I think Cash is just going to shrug his shoulders and
1.5
fold.
million.
There it is.
1.5 million.
Hey, I got one right.
Yeah, and yeah, that's.
Cash is going to take his time. He might use a time bank. I don't think there's a world he's calling here.
The
Yep.
1.
Didn't even take time. Good for him.
1.25 raise, so I'm going to say I'm close enough to right. I'll give myself just. I think we're.
Yeah.
Of course. Andrew had a good hand there. He
yeah,
was
he was in my
he was
table
trying
before.
to. He knows that if Cash had a flush, Cash wasn't going to fold. Or
Yep.
if Cash was like slow playing a 7 to the
Being
end and then betting that
online,
card,
I
he
don't
was
know.
going to fold. And since Andrew has the nut flush, he wanted to go real big there to get
Yeah.
Cash. If Andrew had like a
Formats
jack high
don't break.
flush, I bet he'd go a little less because then there's a chance that Cash could still have a bigger
Did you
flush.
stay
than
down
him, but
always?
And then
when
exactly
Cash
what,
leads there, it's great for
on
Andrew.
and off.
exactly what
Just I'm
you're
only
saying.
an hour away.
Any raise,
So-
Cash is
Yeah, see,
folding
I'm
there
like
with
at
what
that.
he
With
has.
exactly.
And any raise
145,
that
That
he
Cash is calling with, he's probably calling that, or he's calling 700.
play
Like
everything,
so,
though. It's
since Andrew had such a big
the
hand,
200.
it's going to beat all the hands that Cash
I
can call with.
typically
Still, he wanted to
decide
get
about
greedy
this,
on
like,
it, and I don't blame him.
smaller stuff just because
Yeah,
He'll be disappointed, obviously, to get a snap fold
much
like
on
that, but Cash just made a good fold. Now Andrew's back in second. Him and Cash are close together. Jose's got half of that, and Matthew's got double what they got.
So we saw Andrew.
Ooh, this spot could be a little gross for him.
We saw Andrew the other day make a very good river bluff with, I believe it was a 6-9 of clubs and a bricked flush draw on a paired board where he defended his big blind multi-way, and it was like a really good river bluff spot.
Oh, wow, all of them
Oh,
got
wow.
a good hand. Cash came in with the re-raise, though. I think that's going to get Jose off the hook here.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't even think about it.
And we
big
saw
was it?
a
400?
similar type
Yeah,
raise
flop here.
out of Andrew with the 7s, and I think that was one of the hands that got shown in the leader where he had the 7s and the king 4 hit the 2 pair on the river, and he sized up that million chip raise. And it's the thing, if you're going to get called by a hand, they're calling 500 or they're calling $1 million.
Yeah, and he's good enough to know to get that million.
Yep.
Cash came in with
I
a
mean, if
small
you
free
win,
bet here,
there's
I
nothing
guess.
to, you know.
I just want him to let me
Andrew, of
live.
course, is going to call ace jack's pretty good on the
He
button.
keeps-
He's got
he keeps
position.
asking me to go to dinner with him, and it's like we're not even through this thing yet.
Nobody's got
You know what I
anything. I
mean?
think Cash is just Cash is
Maybe I'll
coming
go,
with the
maybe
check.
I
I thought
won't.
Cash might have just bet. And then
I
put
mean,
Andrew in a
he's
weird
part of this
situation.
too.
I mean, now the check
At
puts
some
Andrew in a
point.
weird situation. I don't think
All
he's
jokes
going to want
aside,
to
Joe
start piling money in
Joe
with this
is
card, though. I think we're gonna see a turn card here. Andrew would be pretty happy right now to take Ace Jack to showdown if
The
the
dinner
check down.
conversation has to stop. I'm just not going to go with him.
Turn 9. I don't think anybody really likes that card, but we've seen Cash love to bet the turn when it goes check on the flop.
Don't worry, Joe. I take you to dinner.
He's coming out. Don't worry, I'm not going to dinner with Matt
probably go
anyway.
with you before
Thank you
he
for the
would
invite,
go
though,
with
whoever
me.
that was. 355. This is kind of an awkward spot for Andrew. I think he's just going to end up folding. He might fold the best hand sometimes, but I think he knows that Cash isn't like going crazy and going 2 out of line in these spots either.
We've seen Cash with a fairly wide open range, but we haven't seen Cash with a wide 3-bet range.
Yeah, and since he didn't bet the flop, I think Andrew knows that Cash doesn't have a great hand, but he still loses to Ace Queen and Ace King. So I think that's why he ended up calling on this turn card to, because maybe he thinks Cash wouldn't bet Ace King or Ace Queen.
It looks like
Quick check, and Cash is going to love it.
Yeah, I was going to say, with how quickly Cash checked that, Andrew can steal
So
that
many
pot.
blinks, yeah, so many blinks from Andrew. He didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
He didn't think Cash was betting Ace Queen or
Yeah.
Ace King there, and he's like annoyed both at himself and at that hand in general.
Yep.
I don't blame him for checking it back. He just thinks Cash has a bunch of King Queen, King Jack that's like betting the turn. Because when Cash checks that flop, he doesn't have a lot of pairs anymore. When you can raise pre, you can have a lot of pairs. When he checks the flop, he doesn't really have many of them. Andrew knew that too. That's why Andrew was blinking a lot at the end, gave a little eye roll at the end because he wasn't happy to see Ace Queen.
It was pretty close to the one hand that's going to show up in that spot that he's going to be beat by.
Yeah.
He's going to play it the same way.
Yeah, and on top of that, like he didn't really even think about bluffing.
Yeah.
With his hand, there was a 4-liner out there. Not that Andrew's going to have much, but like Cash would fold Ace King and Ace Queen if you bet for sure on that river.
Yep.
That's a real tough one to call. So.
Yep.
Andrew played it okay. He's just very disappointed in the result.
A tough hand. A hand that in certain times, in certain circumstances, can get a little bit different. 4-handed pre-flop, Ace Queen and Ace Jack.
Cash folds 10-7 suited on the button, man, and he knows it. This hand could get interesting too. Another ace from Matthew.
Another big
this
hand.
time Jose's got King Queen suited instead of a big monster.
Still a very, very strong hand. We're going to have some chips going in here.
Yeah, Matthew gets the opportunity to play this now. If Cash raised, Jose shoved, Matthew would have to fold.
Oh.
Jose wants to play this one small. I think Jose would come in for the limp jam, but Matthew, you know, going to take his ace to the flop. Smart man. Jose's got to really, Matthew doesn't want to raise and get shoved on here, so.
Yep, he just under
hand's pretty
25
good.
bigs. It's a really difficult depth for Matthew to be raising the weak ace there.
Exactly. If he gets shoved on, he's going to, you know, fold the best hand sometimes.
Yep.
Nobody has anything on the flop, but it's pretty good for both. Jose coming in for a big blind. Matthew's not going to end up folding on the paired board with ace high.
Yep. Jose with two.
Jose could have the
got
best
shot.
hand here,
Yep.
too, with his king queen. Matthew doesn't have to have him beat every time he calls, so.
There's the queen for Jose.
That one's going to change it. It's a pretty bad card for Matthew. I think Jose's going to end up checking and going for value on the river here, the way he plays, because Matthew can still have a 9, and he doesn't want to bet and get raised and be put in a really gross spot. I don't expect Matthew to do anything but go to the river with his hand.
Yep, he's got more than enough showdown value versus a lot of these smaller hands, and that's a really interesting card if anyone decides that they want to try and put in a bluff here, looking at you, Matthew.
Jose won't be. Jose is going to be thrilled to check this one and
check call depending on sizing, but Matthew, he could size up here, and this is a really weird spot because he has the nut flush blocker there.
Yeah, that ace of hearts is a pretty juicy card, but I don't blame him for just taking it. He beats some stuff. Yeah, even gave it a show.
Yep. Nice.
Let him know he got sucked out on. It looks like they're going to break. Jose with a nice little pickup there. You know, another little king-queen suited versus an ace blind on blind. That pot didn't get bloody either. You know, this is kind of what I expected to have been on the final table. They're navigating. They're not trying to kill each other much. When we've seen big pots, everyone's tended to have a really premium strength hand. All these good middling hands aren't going crazy.
And we're looking at what the blind level will be as the players come back from a 20-minute break. We'll be going to 50,000 chip small blind, 100,000 big blind, and big blind ante. So Jose, our short stack, will be on 22 bigs as we come back from the break in just a little bit.
See you guys then.
The Borgata Fall Poker Open Championship has delivered non-stop action. After 464 entries and over $1.1 million in the prize pool, only 6 elite players remain. The energy's been electric. It's high stakes, high pressure, and it all unfolds right here. Don't miss a moment. The final table starts now.
Double checking. Are there still diamonds down there? Yes, there is.
It hasn't changed, brother.
Hasn't changed. Still diamonds, bro.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He's ripping.
Look at this.
Ripping.
He puts on the pressure. Calls. Massive. Here we go. Oh!
And he
Diamond
hits
on
one.
the turn.
That's it. Yowza.
Well, that's gonna do it. How much is he gonna bet out here is the question. Is he gonna make it look like he missed the flush draw, you know, and try to go a little spewy here and get paid off? He's licking his lips. You see that? He licked his lips like he was about to eat dinner, bro. Here we go. Yeah, here it is. There it is.
It's a million. He calls.
Wow. That's not good for business.
Oh,
That's gonna leave a mark.
my goodness. I don't know. I think Andrew's gonna let it go.
Yeah, I mean, ace 10, not a spot you always want to go to war with. He's thinking about, though. Looks like he might use a time bank. Nah, he's out of here. Psyched him out. He's like, pump fake. Nope, I'm out. I'm out. Oh. Cash peels the ace there. And he's got the hard back door if he needs them.
He's gonna lead. No.
Yeah, he leads out.
Good for you, Cash.
That puts Paul in a really tough spot. See, the problem is here, he knows that he has another 255 behind. So it's like, if you don't put him on the ace here, you know you're going to have to put in the 200 plus the 255 because it's going to come on the turn. Does he fold here? And that's why Paul Volpe has 10 million in cash.
Kudos to him.
Nice fold.
I guess, you know, from his perspective,
Jose's lifeline support here. Uh-oh. Picks up the club draw on the turn.
he's smiling.
He's happy. He's alive. Of course he's happy.
He's so happy.
He's got 12 bigs in a dream at the
tell you
moment. We got an all-in situation, ladies and gents.
Got a snap.
Yeah, here we go. I guess Paul's going to try to get the rest of it right here.
Oh,
that's it.
man.
Warm up the car, ladies and gentlemen.
seeing your third Vegas sunrise in a row. Proving you're right, or giving it to your friend who's always wrong. Meeting your hero?
What's up, fellas?
Legendary. Or meeting someone else's hero. Hitting a jackpot from your subway seat. Or how about this? Front row seats. A story you'll tell for the rest of your lives. Or a secret spot that you'll tell everyone about tomorrow. Whatever makes it legendary for you, it can all happen here. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
The Borgata Fall Poker Open Championship has delivered non-stop action. After 464 entries and over $1.1 million in the prize pool, only 6 elite players remain. The energy's been electric. It's high stakes, high pressure, and it all unfolds right here. Don't miss a moment. The final table starts now.
Double checking. Are there still diamonds down there? Yes, there is.
Hasn't changed, brother.
Hasn't changed. Still diamonds, bro.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He's ripping.
Look at this.
Ripping.
He puts on the pressure. Calls. Massive. Here we go. Oh!
And he
Diamond
hits
on the turn.
That's it. Yowza.
Well, that's gonna do it. How much is he gonna bet out here is the question. Is he gonna make it look like he missed the flush draw, you know, and try to go a little spewy here and get paid off? He's licking his lips. You see that? He licked his lips like he was about to eat dinner, bro. Here we go. Yeah, here it is. There it is.
It's a million. He calls.
Wow. That's not good for business.
Oh,
that's gonna leave a mark.
My goodness. I think Andrew's gonna let it go.
Yeah, I mean, ace 10, not a spot you always want to go to war with.
No.
He's thinking about though. Looks like he might use a time bank. Nah, he's out of here. Psyched him out. He's like, pump fake. Nope, I'm out. I'm out. Oh. Cash peels the ace there. And he's got the hard back door if he needs them.
No.
Yeah, he leads out.
Good for you, Cash.
That puts Paul in a really tough spot. See, the problem is here, he knows that he has another 255 behind. So it's like, if you don't put him on the ace here, you know you're going to have to put in the 200 plus the 255 because it's going to come on the turn. Does he fold here? And that's why Paul Volpe has 10 million in cash.
Kudos to him.
Nice fold.
I guess, you know, from his perspective,
Jose's lifeline support here. Uh-oh. Picks up the club draw on the turn.
he's smiling.
He's happy. He's alive. Of course he's happy.
He's so happy.
He's got 12 bigs in a dream at the moment. We got an all-in situation, ladies and gents.
Got a snap.
Yeah, here we go. I guess Paul's going to try to get the rest of it right here.
Oh,
that's it.
Man.
Warm up the car, ladies and gentlemen.
legendary. It's seeing your third Vegas sunrise in a row. Proving you're right, or giving it to your friend who's always wrong. Meeting your hero?
What's up, fellas?
Legendary. Or meeting someone else's hero. Hitting a jackpot from your subway seat. Or how about this? Front row seats. A story you'll tell for the rest of your lives. Or a secret spot that you'll tell everyone about tomorrow. Whatever makes it legendary for you, it can all happen here. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
Hello and welcome back to the final table of the 2025 Borgata Fall Poker Open, the $2,700 $1 million guaranteed championship. We have 4 remaining contestants here playing for up to $204,000 for first place, a pair of trophies. You can see we've got Matthew Zambanini chip leading with 77 big blinds, Kash Corpening second chips with 50 big blinds, Andrew Porter third with 37, and Jose Wong with 22 in fourth. And don't want to say bringing up the rear because all 4 of them have done very well so far today, have locked up at least $65,300 for themselves. I'm Matt McNeil, joined with World Series of Poker main event champion Joe McKeon as we continue the action.
And they are all doing good. This is a pretty good spot for Matt. The more the blinds go up, if he keeps this big chip lead up, then those blinds are really going to start eating into the other players if they get to it. So the more Matt just kind of sits around and lets the blinds go up.
We do have Kash opening coming out of the break here. Andrew with a little 3-5 of clubs should be enough for a defend.
I think he's going to. He can start chopping off some hands to defend with where he is in the situation, but against the min raise, I don't think he's going to be folding too many pretty suited hands as such. This might be his type of board, 8-7-4. Need to come in with the check, but I was going to think this is when he could lead.
Or you could see the check raise and Kash discipline check behind.
Yeah, Kash got none of it, and he should know that this is a good board for Andrew. This is a terrible card for Andrew. I think Andrew would have bluffed some other cards, but not that one. Kash finally checking back a turn. Kind of interesting. Andrew has 5 high. I don't expect him to give up, but I'm wrong. Kash is coming in for the little bet here as a bluff instead.
Yeah, you have to think that's a bluff from him, right? Like
yeah, I think so too, but Andrew's got 5 high, so it's just going to work. But I don't think Andrew would be folding any pair or any ace high to that. Kash also only bet a big blind.
Yep, but Kash takes our first pot coming back from break. It'll bring him up to over 5.3 million in chips.
That hand went rapidly fast too.
Yeah.
I bet if Andrew thinks about that one, he could have found some way to win that pot.
You know, kind of going back to the beginning of the day with people kind of getting themselves settled in, you'll see a little bit of that coming out of breaks sometimes as well, of just, you know, as soon as you're sitting down, not wanting to make that immediate mistake, playing a little too quickly, haven't maybe gotten back into the swing of things right away.
Definitely true. First hand back, Andrew's kind of probably gone into the break too with the mindset of like, all right, I'm in the middle here. I got to play pretty solid. I don't want to get too out of line.
Matthew with the suited queen is going to be raising his button here.
As he should. He's got just a good seat. Cash is in the big blind. Cash will call this one, but Cash has also folded a few hands that we thought he might have played. And I don't think Cash is going to do much. That's going to make Matthew's life too hard post-flop, so.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he might this hand. Cash just flop trips. I think he's going to come in with the check. I know he's led, but I don't think this is the one he's going to lead. I think Matthew's going to bet kind of small here and find out where he's at real fast. Oh, no, he came in with a bit of a bigger bet. It looked like 300,000 to me.
Oh, half pot.
Half the pot. Cash should be doing a lot of calling in this spot, but I think the way he plays, he's just going to come in raising. He doesn't want to bloat too many pots with Matthew. He does have a huge hand, though, so. He came in with the raise. Matthew's going to Hollywood a little bit, and I don't think he's going to do much with the queen high here. He kind of can't. Cash just going to take down this pot. Get a little closer to Matthew. This is the first time Matthew's had someone actually kind of close to him all day.
Cash up to almost 6 million in chips, just shy of 5.9 million in chips. Matthew down to only 7.1 and change. A little bit below, I think, where he started the day, because he was, or was he high sixes? He was in that general
He started,
area.
yeah, about 7 million. Matthew's
He'd gotten a little up over 8, so he's down a little bit from his high water mark, but certainly he's got to be very happy with how it's gone so far.
Yeah, he's doing fine. He's already made 2 pay jumps. Cash has made a lot of cards today. Cash has had the best hand just a lot.
Yep.
Just even when he hasn't, when he's had a half decent hand, he's done a good job of getting away from it.
Mm-hmm.
That pot's a little demoralizing for Matthew because he comes on break. He win that